What's up, everybody? We're back. I just said we're going live. What's up? How you doing? Welcome everybody in. We're back for another D&D night with the homies tonight. I hope you're having a good one. That is a just metric fuck ton of gummy bears. Do not eat that whole bag. You will get so sick. I'm serious. If you eat 3 pounds of gummy bears, you will be shitting your pants by the time this stream is over. I'm not kidding.
Those aren't the sugar-free ones, are they?
Oh yeah, boy, yeah. I can't wait to ship my brains out, boys.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. We're on a timer now. Officially, this stream is now on a 3-hour timer, guys. Oh no.
Mount Vesuvius.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to try to get in and out of this very quickly then, because we are definitely running on limited time before Hell's fucking ass explodes on stream in front of everybody. So, Hell's Corp, real quick, let's get through it. What do you got new coming down the pipes? Go real fast. Go.
I tweeted for the first time in a while. That was pretty cool.
You did do a tweet. I did see the tweet.
That's not it. Again, I still got this. I love this.
Gaslighting is real. You're just crazy. We love it. Thank you for the sub, Rye. I appreciate you for using your Prime sub on me, homie. Thank you so much. Did I get disadvantage? Where's my disadvantage, Kieran? Feel like you're lying to me. Are you lying to me? Damn, he started the stream. It was the first thing he said when he came into stream, this son of a bitch. He didn't even say hello. He just fucked me, dude.
Save that link and go read that when you get a minute. The one that I put in chat. It's about those gummy bears. It's worth it.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, but I respect you.
I know the review. It's good.
It's good. Yeah, I'm imagining things. So, Hell's is new.
Bears are not.
Some new content
coming. Free.
They're not sugar free.
I was.
Okay. Still gonna be a bad day for you. We got maybe 4 hours to deal with.
I ate 2 of the gummy bears. I've had this bag for the past 4 weeks.
Okay, that's good. You have more self-control than I do, at least. That's fucking.
I don't like gummy bears that much, but I got given a big ass bag of them, so I'm snacking them.
Let's get a shout out for Hell's Corp here. If y'all haven't already, go show some love over there. He's nice enough to come on the stream and let us torment him every week, even though he's a busy man. Got some new shit coming out, and we're all very excited for it. Go buy his merch, hellscorp.square.site. I remember, it's burned into my memory banks at this point.
Should be.
For me, nothing really new.
It
is, yeah, no. Facts. Nothing really new on my end. Still doing the Skyrim run. We're having a lot of fun with that. Survival mode is definitely kind of janky, but we're still having a good time. And then we're running Star Wars on Thursday now. Getting back into painting. I'm just trying to get the camera set up going for Saturdays, and once that's up and running, we can get back onto that. Beyond that, nothing really new going on. Just the same old. Where did Chris go? Okay, he'll be back. He knows what's happened. So, quick recap to pick up where we left off. Have I gotten the bucket yet? I have not. It is still on the way. I'm sure it'll be a while because our mail system here in Canada sucks, dude. It's terrible. First Tall Tale, 20th of July. What? Oh, the new Sea of Thieves shit. Yeah, there's so much stuff to keep on top of. We'll probably have to do that. That'll probably be the last Sea of Thieves stream. Anyway, so a recap, if you will. I'm assuming Chris is just going to remember this shit. If not, well, so be it. We'll see what happens. The party, after fighting off a horde of zombies at Hargo's Hill, made their way deeper into the Ember Steppe toward the city of Lysia, eventually finding a place to camp on the cliffsides overlooking the city. At which point, after a good night's sleep, the party decided to split, Mr. Maker and Gregory going their own way with the help of Stanislav's Golden Stallion, made their way towards Lysia. Found their way into the city without much trouble, just, some light questioning at the gate about your reasons for being there, if you're trading or selling any goods. Pretty standard, nothing overly major, though you did notice a bit of a heightened security around the city. During the night as well, before you left, you did hear a large contingent of troops moving northward along the road out of Lysia. Upon further examination, realized it was, in fact, a large troop of Imperium forces making their way northwards into the mountains. Mr. Maker and Gregory spent some more time in Lysia, stopping by a couple traders and seeing what they could find, eventually finding their way to Boxen's Baubles. Not Bojen.
Boxen.
Boxen's Baubles.
Good old Boxen.
Mm-hmm. Boxen. We love him. Kind of hitting it off a little bit, at least until as they were leaving, it appeared that word of Mr. Maker's designs and ideas had perhaps traveled further than he thought, as a somewhat familiar-looking business card was pulled out of Boxen's wardrobe and handed to him with the faint scent of Oasis Glade on it, which is a stark contrast to your Lavender Meadows.
It's also worth noting, I don't know if this matters to you or not, but the cards have my face on them.
Mm-hmm. The one you handed him.
My real face.
Oh, you've never described your real face to me, so it's just a guy.
I described it a little.
It's just like a pasty-ass dude. It's
just me with goatee, Marwolf. Self-insert.
Fair enough. Chris, what's up?
What does Oasis Glade smell like?
Flowers and fresh water.
No coconut?
Oasis.
Maybe coconut. Depends.
Oh.
Depends on the oasis. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so after a brief exchange, some slight looks exchanged, but ultimately a peaceful meeting, Mr. Maker and Gregory left Boxen's Baubles and headed across a series of bridges towards the center of town, passing the Bloodspring Arena, at which point we returned to our other party members who were just getting ready for an evening's rest. They engaged in a little awkward wrestling match with their new NPCs, specifically, Smelly and Mantuka, after which Mantuka and Stanislav decided to have a bout, and Mantuka was beaten, but not by a huge margin. Still has not managed to really find his footing in the single combat department with people lately. But you guys decide to lay down for an evening's rest, each of you taking individual watches, starting with Stanislav, moving on to Smelly, and then ending with Mantuka. Some seriously low rolls occurred, in which just a series of unfortunate events began happening. And by the time Mantuka had arisen for his watch and actually taken a decent perception check around the camp, it became very obvious very quickly that a couple baubles, personal items of high value, had in fact been stolen from the party. Mantuka missing a very favorited circlet of ballasting, his tiara, his one magical item that he really gets to use with any level of showmanship. And then Stanislav, realizing that not only your dice from within your wardrobe, but your gold bag made from red dragon scale, and most importantly, your armor, which you had fairly recently paid a substantial sum to have enchanted. The two of you kind of looked around, realizing that whoever had robbed you had in fact climbed up from the cliffs above, made their way down, quickly scurried about your camp, grabbing whatever they can, and then coming back for seconds during the next watch, during Smelly's watch, when he seems to have fallen asleep on the job. And we left off with the two of you. So, Stanislav and Mantuka, as you stand here, having been freshly robbed, your prized possessions no longer your prized possessions, what are you going to do? I mean, hit a D100 there, Hellspawn, please. Exclamation point D100.
In a former day, Stanislav may have kind of panicked and jumped right into action, but this time he just kind of realizes this, just shit.
31.
Not again. I guess that's what I get for not paying attention in the Ember Step.
Yeah, as you awaken that morning, you're greeted by the pleasant weather of the Ember Step. It's still like nice and cool. The sun has just begun to come up. There's a faint breeze,
done our long rest?
but nothing.
Like,
yep, you guys managed to get a full long rested, so you got all your HP back and everything. There's a faint breeze kind of blowing over the sand dunes, but nothing major, not even worth shielding your eyes from like the blowing sand or anything. It's a very peaceful day on the Ember Step as you two stand, having been freshly robbed. So,
there will be blood, goddamn! Mantuka busted blood for babies!
I didn't understand a word of that, but it sounded angry. Now you're muted.
Alright, well... shit. Stanislav is gonna think for a minute and then remember back to some training that he had in the temple back in Southwatch, and I'm going to attempt to cast Locate Object on my armor.
Okay.
It's going to take 10 minutes. But...
Okay. Take 10 minutes. Cast. Are you...
oh, no, it's a concentration spell.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes of concentration.
Yeah.
So you cast it, and you are
10,000
looking for
feet.
which object in particular?
My armor.
Okay. You don't find anything.
Okay.
You don't know if it's because it's past that distance or if it's being kept somewhere where you're unable to locate it. But you do not get any sense that your objects are anywhere within was it 1,000 feet?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yep. Nothing.
Alright. Well, do you have any ideas, big guy?
Mantuka don't do magic. That was my one magic thing. That's your
we need to
department.
Get that back. Alright.
Talk to your god. Mogus! Mogus, do you know where shit is? Mogus?
No answer from Mogus.
From my experience, it doesn't usually work like that. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna take... I'm gonna drop concentration on the spell.
Hmm?
And I'm gonna take another 10 minutes to cast Find Steed.
Hmm?
But I'm going to summon... what's his name? Boris. Boris the Bloodhound.
Boris the Bloodhound. We haven't seen Boris in a
Yes.
little while. It's been a hot
You've
minute
not seen
since
Boris in a while.
Yeah, Boris hasn't
and he's
come out
gonna
in a
be-
hot minute.
And I don't care about subtlety at the moment. I'm going full shiny.
He is bright golden bloodhound. Very he as immediately just appears where once stood your great warhorse Ikesh. Now stands a golden mastiff, just starts sniffing the air immediately, kind of jowly cheeks kind of like wiggling around as he moves his head from side to side.
Well, no, would you like? I give him a little scritchy and pull out a piece of dried meat from my rations.
And he eats it. It's like very nose breathy while he's eating too, because he can't breathe through his mouth and eat at the same time. So it's kind of like, yeah, exactly. It's very very damp sounding eating. But yeah, no, he laps up the treat, very enthusiastic. Why am I a dog? You hear inside your head.
Well, because we need to hopefully find some things or some people.
Okay, what do you need to find?
Well, he probably had his hands on me, so give me a sniff for somebody that you haven't smelled before. It should be pretty fresh in the last 12 hours.
Okay, roll me a perception check as advantage, please, for your bloodhound. He just kind of comes up to you and starts sniffing around you. Begins running around the camp, sniffing around where
19.
you guys are sleeping too. 19 is more than enough. You just hear the very familiar voice in your head one again. Stranger? Hard to smell over that guy? And you see him his head kind of gesture towards Smelly. Someone was here who's not here anymore.
Alright, well that's probably who we're looking for.
Yep, stands at the bottom of a cliff and kind of looks up. He went that way. He just gestures with his little paw.
Alrighty.
He's kind of gesturing,
but-
basically just north, like straight up the cliffs and kind of in a little bit of a northern direction from where you are now.
Oh, you want to go on a thief hunt there, Mantuka? Seems like we have a trail. Alrighty, I'm gonna
kind of comes up. You guys leaving then? You going? You just going away?
Could use your help.
I think I'll pass. I'm gonna stay here and watch the stuff in case the guys come back. I can let them know where you got off to, and maybe they can come back you up if they get back in time. I figure I'll just wait here. I'll just wait here.
All right. I'm gonna take my rope out and fashion a harness of sorts for Boris.
Easily done. No roll required for that. You can just very simply tie him to your back, and you now have a puppy Bjorn or puppy backpack.
Very good.
Yep.
And I don't have him like just kind of horizontally across. I have him so that his
paws are like
arms
up
are
on the
across
shoulders,
here,
and
yeah.
his head's kind of
Like-
on top of your head, basically resting between your horns. Yep, got it. No
He
worries.
big. Massive sirs.
Oh, he a big
dog.
dog. Yeah, very big, very jowly cheeks too. And you like every now and again, you just feel like a trickle of drool just kind of drip onto the top of your head there. You're all good to go. So what's the plan, guys? Are you heading out together? Are you bringing Smelly with you,
Come on,
Mantuka?
Smelly.
I guess I better. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I can.
Yes.
I don't know if I could climb that and carry all these weapons. Do you have like a preference?
All of them. Let's go.
Okay. He goes over, starts grabbing all your weapons. Are you carrying any yourself, or are you leaving them all to him?
I'll have my halberd and my battle axe on myself.
The halberd was the one he seems to be more worried about, but he starts grabbing up all the smaller weapons. Yeah, so what are you giving him, just so I know for my sake?
Just give me one. A glaive, 2 hand axes, javelins, and my spare halberd.
Okay, this small halfling individual. Gnome or halfling? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh no, he's just this little gangly human. Okay, so he starts gathering all these things up in his arms. He's just standing there holding all these. He starts stuffing them into belt loops and over his back and like trying to just fit anything in. He takes the halberd, jams it between like the 2 straps of his backpack like he's carrying a skateboard. And he's just standing there completely decked out head to toe with weapons, like barely able to move properly. He's like, I think I'm ready to go. You sure this is a good idea?
We're going on this stupid thing, but you know what? You can't fucking stand watch for shit. So
I mean,
let's fucking go.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Bless on the 3 of us.
Okay, so you, Mantuka, and Smelly.
Yeah.
Okay. I need let's say athletics checks from everybody.
You Hawkeye, Smelly, 'cause you can't see shit.
That's not a bad nickname, actually. It could be worse. It could be worse. It's better than Smelly.
Shut.
So athletics from everyone. Miss Mantuka, if you want to roll for Smelly as well, please do so.
I will do that.
Okay.
Did you make a character sheet for him?
I did.
Yeah, I had them both make one up.
Oh, you're shit.
They only get 1 spell, and they have to roleplay teaching it to them. That's the rule.
7.
Mr.
7 for Smelly.
Okay, go ahead and roll one for you as well.
Oh, thank God. 27.
Okay, so Stanislav and Mantuka immediately just start scaling up these rocks. Like, no problem. You could do this, like, with one hand tied behind your back at this point. Smelly, on the other hand, is, like, gets about 3 feet off the ground, and he just falls into the sand. He's a little weighed down, it seems. Like, he's not really capable of making that climb with all your weapons on. Yeah, what's up? Oh, okay. We got 2 hands.
The same question. Do any of the weapons hurt him as he falls?
No. Luckily,
that was absolutely positively not the question I was going to ask, like at all.
Yeah, like the staff part of the halberd probably hurts his back a little as he falls on it, but he doesn't get like shanked or anything from them. Yeah, he's fine. But he's just laying there. I don't think I can do this with all these weapons. Can you like pick a favorite, maybe? Go ahead.
There's only one humane thing that I can do. And Mantuka is going to pull some rope out of his back.
Okay.
And I'm going to fasten one of the end around my waist.
Yep.
Out of his back?
Backpack. You didn't know that Mantuka has built-in fur pockets? He's a marsupial,
Rope me
dude.
a couple of sea turtles.
There,
anyway, back to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go and tie the other end securely around Mr. Smelly's waist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just like tie it around yourself.
By showing him how to.
Okay.
Fucking get going.
Yeah, you're about like 15 feet up at this point. So you tie the rope through, 20 feet of rope down to him. He just like grabs the loop and he's like, "Oh, this seems easier for me. I like this." And he tightens it around his waist. Okay, go. And he just literally waits for you to start lifting him up the mountainside.
Oh, it's okay. He's gonna love the side of the mountain real soon. I'm gonna motivate him via, blunt force.
All right. I need another athletic check from each of you guys. Mantuka, I'm gonna say just a straight roll for you instead of advantage because you have a Smelly dangling like a pendulum beneath you as you're trying to make this.
Okay, I don't know if I can disadvantage. If I can
we'll just take whatever's the first one. Yep. Ooh.
They're both pretty solid.
They're both very good. At this point, Stan, you reach a part that it kind of begins to like overhang, like you're reaching the overhang over your camp. And it's beginning to get a little more challenging. You reach a part where you have to dangle your feet. You're just holding on by your hands, but you just barely manage to squeak by and get back onto some solid footing there.
As a rock climber, I know how hard that is.
Yeah, that's not easy. Mantuka, you Not only do you do so faster, but you just find a slightly easier route that you can kind of like wedge your hooves in between a crack and just basically using your iron hooves to dig into the stone whenever you need to. And then there's Smelly just like bashing around between the two sides of this cliff on his way up. He's like, could you slow down, please? Just getting beat up on the way up. But eventually you do get to the top. And when we get there, you find some kind of loose packed gravel mixed with sand that is kind of blown in off the desert onto the cliffside. And you do see what looks like fresh-ish footprints, like tracks that were made during the night. Most likely they scurry up to the another side of a cliff face and just disappear up the cliffside.
Am I up at this point, or do I need to roll again?
No, you both now have reached
cool.
this plateau. You're on a cliffside, and you can see from here quite clearly. There's like just looking around with your passives. There's a clear spot in the ground where it looks like someone was sitting for a long period of time. You can see where they shuffled around, and looking down, you can see just directly into the front, like into your campsite from here. This person definitely seemed like they had sized you up before making their entrance. But the footprints just disappear up another cliffside. One more athletics check to climb that one. It's only about 15-20 feet, this one, as opposed to the 40 you just went up. So not as big. One more athletics check each. Mantuka also at straight roll, please. Or just take the first. Damn!
I take a running jump at this one.
Yeah, that's really good.
I was
Okay.
gonna say I'm not gonna do that, but since I rolled,
Yeah, I didn't see the cliffs giving you guys a whole lot of problems. So, Stanislav, this time you take like 2 steps and then skip up like 3 outcrops, and then the last little bit just pull yourself up using like pure arm strength. Mantuka kind of follows that lead. Smelly once again just all the way up, constantly getting hit. And as you come up onto that next plateau, you see kind of overlooking the Ember Step and along the cliffside to the north as it begins to curve up into the Incendus Mountains. What looks like a cave entrance in the side of a cliff, probably 100 feet away from you, maybe a little bit more, just in the cliffside. Like it's on its own cliff. The only way to get to it appears like you could climb over and climb down or climb along the cliffs, but you definitely see like the footprints lead towards the cliff again, and then it looks like just scaled right over to it where they vanish. You do roll me a perception check, actually, just for my sake.
Can I have Boris roll a smell one?
Absolutely, yeah. Please go ahead.
He's still tied on my back, so I'm gonna kind of get down on the ground weirdly.
Advantage. Mantuka, you can too. This is just to see what you guys pick up around the cave
All
entrance.
Right.
Yeah. Advantage for the Bloodhound.
Not my best.
Not the best we've seen. So the Bloodhound definitely picks up a scent and kind of loses it on that cliffside where it looks like he kind of scaled over to this, but he definitely, like, you're on the right track. Mantuka doesn't, like, you don't pick up anything, but Stanny, you catch just ever so faintly in, like, this kind of dim morning light. There's just, like, a little bit of a flash coming from inside, like, just like a flicker of torchlight or firelight or something coming from within that cavern. It looks to be populated, and with that roll, hard to make out, but it looks like there's a lot of foot traffic that has come and gone from that cave. Like there is no one single track of footprints going out there. The ground outside of it is hard packed.
Okay. I'm gonna untie Boris at this point because it seems like, I don't know, might be better. It might be in a fight coming around that corner. Might be better to not have a dog on my back. Or does it look like I could get across undetected and untie him on that side?
It would be doable. Like, it would be stealth checks to try and do it. You don't see any guards currently out front.
Okay.
So you are alone at the moment. Keeping in mind you are carrying a golden glowing puppy.
I don't know if I want him in. I think I did. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get across with him on the back. Does it look like he could get across? Probably not.
Unlikely.
Yeah,
This is like
okay.
some physical rock climbing. So one more athletics check for anyone trying to make the climb. Also stealth checks if you're trying to do it without making any commotion.
All right.
Okay. Danny seems to like have it. He's very, very carefully just moving his way along this cliffside, kind of horizontally, just strafing his way, looking for handholds and footholds as he can find them. Mantuka with a
calm
15.
on the outside, but he's pissed on the inside.
Fair. Is Smelly still attached to you, Mantuka? Do you unattach him for this climb, or is he still on you? Thank you for the alert, Creepshow. I appreciate you. Y'all, if you haven't already, go show some love over there.
This is kind of like a smaller area.
Where you guys
More
are
of a
now?
traverse
Yeah, it's
instead of-
like... you
Yeah,
guys...
so I would detach him for the traverse.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you can climb and kind of find places to stand and take little intermittent breaks. So he'd probably be a little better off. So we can take your 19 on that. Between the two of you, both rolled all right on your checks, and roll on athletics and stealth for Smelly, please. This is going to be what makes or breaks this check.
Fuck.
I'm so excited. This is what happens when you bring NPCs with you places, right?
He fucks us
So,
up, I'll throw him off the cliff.
Athletics and stealth.
Athletics and then a stealth check, yes. You trying to climb across here slowly,
12.
carefully enough to not disturb anything?
He's
Okay,
got
athletics
good
is...
stealth.
Yeah,
Hold on.
athletics is good enough. The 12
yeah,
is
he's
good.
got this.
Okay.
Just another day for Smelly.
Yeah,
His best
so
life.
you guys are a little surprised at this point as Smelly begins, like, working his way horizontally across this rock surface. It's a little easier for him. He seems to find his way a lot better. But the thing that surprises you most of all is that he does so with complete silence. He does not make a sound. A rock does not even shuffle under his feet as he moves. And he kind of just passes you guys and catches up at a certain point. And the three of you collectively, quietly, Mantuka, it's harder for you having hooves made of literal iron. But you just make your way across the rock. We got an inspirational quote. Generally feels better to run towards something than to run away from something. Focus on what is pulling you in, not what you're trying to avoid. Inspiration to Gregory from our good friend Wraithwall. Thank you, Wraith. I appreciate you.
That was amazing.
All right, so I'll take a second to untie Forrest and put him down.
He gestures towards the cave now that you're standing close and you hear inside your head.
Mentally, is he in there?
He's in there. There's a lot of people in there. It's pretty busy. And even now, as you're standing here, you listen for a second. You can hear like a din happening. There's people talking. It sounds like there's at least a handful of people inside this cave. They're not trying to be stealthy. No one's trying to hide. They're just seems like there are people inside talking and discussing things.
I'm gonna hold up my hand like this. Are there more people than these?
Roll me a perception check, not with advantage. This is just straight up.
Yeah, because I'm asking a bit more sophisticated.
Very specific question. Can't tell. Don't know if there were that many before, if there were that many now. Definitely more than that originally, though. There's a lot of smells in there.
All right, buddy, get ready for a fight.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Okay,
you
good.
just hear people talking from inside, outside the doors. What are you doing?
Whisper to Mantuka. All right, they're in there. Should we just bust in there and start?
What's in there?
The people who stole our shit.
Do you know, are there people? Can your dog thing detect if
Yes,
they're...
there's. He doesn't know how many, but there are other people.
All right, so we're gonna kill them.
Well, I mean, we can avoid it, but unlikely.
Oh yeah, how do you want to avoid it then?
If we can knock them out, take our stuff, and leave. But like I said, I
Okay,
don't
but
think...
if one of them punches me, I'm gonna get real mad and everyone's gonna die.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Boris and Meat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna just kind of look at Mantuka and... All right, on 3. Ready?
Don't go down. You're the only one who can heal. Be good. Don't die.
1, 2, 3, and I jump around the corner.
Okay, you
Wielding
turn
Stanislav.
and run. You grab the Stanislax in your shield. You enter the cave and you find yourself in like a 5 foot by 5 foot cavern entrance that leads in. You see firelight twinkling from probably about 15-20 feet down this hall. You run, and as you run in, you find just stealthily. Roll me stealth checks. Stealthily, eh? You sure about that? you sure about that? So
Boris is ahead of me.
As you both enter the cave, Mantuka, Boris the Mastiff, and Mr. Smelly all like very silently do so. And as Stanislav comes around the corner, you just don't notice that there's an outcrop of rock right there, and it kind of curves a little bit, and your shield just boom and echoes and reverberates throughout this cave. And as you're entering, you try to stifle the sound, and you hear silence. There's silence. You all stop dead in your track, and you just hear from inside the cave. Well, you may as well just come in if you're just going to stand out there in the doorway. And that is where we're going to cut to our other party. I mean, you rolled a 6. You rolled a 6, my guy. All right, if we could get Hells and Gregory back for this occasion, that would be
I have a question, but it's going to have to wait.
It's not who you think it is.
There was great acoustics in that cave. Damn.
It is not your little satyr friend. So, Gregory, Mr. Maker. Last we left you two, you were crossing past the Bloodspring Arena, the massive Colosseum-like structure, a little more oval-shaped than circular, in the center of Lysia, this massive oasis city in the middle of the desert here. You're standing on this island that appears to be either... No, maybe not entirely man-made, but has definitely been extended to build this arena on. There's parts where it's been like bricked up around the edge, around the oasis, where it has clearly been enhanced by human hands in some way. And even as you're walking, like Boxen or Bojen, as it's actually pronounced, said, there is like a smell in the air here. It's like you can smell the palm trees, the coconuts, the fresh water, the wildflowers growing here, but beyond all of that is the ever-pervading stench of death. This is somewhere where people die in massive quantities, and you're not sure where all the bodies are kept, but you can smell death in the air. This is a place where people die very, very frequently. And you kind of walk past. It's dead today. There's not a soul here. It's almost completely closed down. You see a few couples walking on the island, hand in hand, seemingly completely not even noticing like the death on the air, just enjoying the nice day in the oasis here. You guys continue along, past another bridge, or approach another bridge, and as you do so, you see a pair of guards. These ones armored more, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's more fancy. Like, the guards at the gate were wearing Imperium armor, and that is normal, and it's always a little flashy. It's got that brass coloring to it, a little bit of gold plating in certain parts, bright purple capes, but these people are like, this armor is shining. It has been polished to an absolute mirror finish. It looks better made than the stuff you saw at the front gates. These are clearly guards of a different caliber. These are high-ups, and the two of them are just standing there with like halberd or pike in one hand. One has a halberd, one has a spear, actually. And they're just standing as you come, they just cross them. No entry today.
I was muted, so I didn't realize it. But I was trying to say I don't want to approach the guards.
We rewind. Okay. As you come around, as you come around the side of the Bloodspring Arena,
he's just ignoring me.
I'm
I
sorry.
also said ostentatious was the word you were looking for.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That was exactly it. So
Austin Powers?
Well,
and then you said fancy, and I'm like, what the hell? And I
did remember
Great
that.
word.
I did remember
Great
that.
word.
Ostentatious is a good one. So, we'll retcon that real quick. As you come around the northern side of the Bloodspring Arena, you see this other bridge, and on the other side of it, these massing estates, some almost castles themselves. And you see these two guards. You do not approach, but you see from the distance you are these two guards. They seem to be talking to each other and looking around and trying to make out exactly if there's anyone approaching. But like they're keeping a pretty serious eye on things.
Sure. Okay.
I just whispered to Mr. Maker.
Oh, there's the big fuck me house.
It certainly would seem that way.
Oh yeah, it becomes very clear to you very quickly which house you're looking for. The Dru'Hila estate is bigger than any other one. You also see that it's built at the low point of these two hills, and on those two hills on either side of the house are just rolling vineyards. Grapevines as far as the eye can see, leading right up to the edge of the wall.
Is there any, like, openings to the vineyards?
Roll me perception checks.
Yes, please.
Hey, So apart from the bridge, there's like obviously the swim approach or coming in from the external walls. But apart from swimming or trying to scale the 50-foot wall on the outside of the city, doesn't seem like a lot of ways in. And even like with that check, the two of you see just patrolling the entire vineyard. There are guards like in the estate, dressed notably different than the ones you're seeing at the bridge here. They definitely seem to be privately employed.
Are there any, like, little outcroppings where we could kind of, like, be hidden for a few minutes?
Be hidden? Yeah, there's a few. Definitely. Where are you trying to hide exactly? Like, if you're on the map here, give me a ping in the area you would like to hide.
If possible, like, kind of this
Sure.
half of
Yeah,
the
easily done.
road.
So basically this whole island is just overgrown and there's paths. It's kind of like a nature reserve around this arena, and people like it's kind of like a botanical garden. So there's lots of high wildflowers and brush and some boulders and like decorative art pieces you could hide behind if you really wanted to.
I would know, being from Pillarstone, some of the higher up magic users, not know them, but like know of them, know their name, potentially their seal and all that.
Yep. Who you like? What level are you thinking? Are you like government, or are you just thinking like higher up in society?
I'm thinking anyone that would be. I mean, I can roll for this if you need me to, but like anybody that would be a large collector of native magic items, or is someone that would potentially send out like an ambassador to trade.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a history check for this one, please. What's up, Kat? Welcome in.
Damn, good idea.
And considering I worked in this, could it be a good advantage?
100% advantage. Go ahead. You don't even need to sell me on that one. Good thing you went with it.
Didn't
that
work.
worked out.
I rolled Flash of Genius.
Okay, so with a
So
16
it'll be a
total
16.
on the 11. It takes you really got to rack the memory banks for a minute, and then you just like, oh wait, snap, and your Flash of Genius kicks in. And you know of a few people, specifically in Pillarstone. There are other collectors and stuff. One that stands out in particular is the Anders family. They're also very well known in the like archaeology, treasure hunting thing, but they lean more towards the pillaging and resale side as opposed to the personal collection side of things. But they do have a very substantial personal collection of their own, but their whole goal is to collect and sell art, whereas the Dru'Hila family is very much about like just strictly collecting it.
Right.
But the Anders family would be the one that stands out. They are based in Pillarstone, and they have quite a bit of money.
Well, I would like to pull out a small, this sheet of parchment, potentially,
Easily
and
done.
and my quill of easy writing, which I don't think I've used once since I
You've
got it.
Literally never used.
Let's
that
go.
magic
It's
item.
getting used.
It's getting used.
Yeah,
Yay.
it's validated.
This magical quill that somehow
I
will
also
cause
never
your
once used it.
will cause your hand to never once cramp while you're writing long essays. This is definitely the magic item for a
I don't know
college
how to write.
student.
Yeah,
that
well,
too.
I was gonna say, I don't think you would if I could get this fit.
So you pull out your quill and your piece of parchment. What are you writing on it?
I would like to write, as close as I can remember, what would seem like a notice from the Ander family, that they would like to trade, or not necessarily trade, but would request an audience with the Dru'Hila family
Okay.
over a particular magic artifact.
I'm not gonna say easily done, but easily rolled for. In that case, you can either roll me a deception check to just get the wording right and get a convincing message, or you can do a performance check to try to make the letter itself as convincing as possible. Like, it's the difference between just a convincing letter of like a lie and an actual forgery. It's your choice to go in deception. I figured.
Yeah, and I will also flash a genius that.
Okay, so it's
20.
20. It's not the most official looking thing you have ever seen, but it does appear to be like you've nailed out a fairly believable, especially with the Flash of Genius, a very believable copy of what you would idea to be just like an introduction letter, just like we are interested in the in the market for new artifacts, and we've been told this is the place to come look for them. It's as official as you can remember, having not seen a whole lot of them yourself. But based on that roll, you figure it's going to be convincing enough to get done what you need to get done.
Perfect.
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of like show it to Gregory. So like, this is how we're getting past those fucks.
Okay. Well, yeah, just reading over. Okay, let's try. Am I still your son in this situation?
Yeah, I guess that would have to work. Look,
Works
I
the
mean, that's
best.
kind of what we planned here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make sure, and then just like pull out the little dagger-looking guy and just kind of cut my throat, but no blood comes out, and I'll cast Disguise Self again on me just as safety.
Okay.
All right, good. Let's do this.
Before we go, I want to try to pull out. You said there was a lot of flashy clothes in that set.
In that what?
In the set of stuff we stole.
Oh
from
yeah,
the
no,
bandit
like
camp.
you just describe what kind of outfit you want, and you basically have it. He has a ton of shit, but like I said, it's looks nice, but not super nice. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I just want to get something that is somewhat believable to be someone of upper
Easily done. Probably like
society.
lower upper class, but like just
Yeah.
skating by into upper class. Like you're just
enough
barely making
where
it.
it's like, oh, these guys could
Yeah.
potentially be.
You look better than a merchant. Like you notice Bojan was wearing
Not for me.
very flashy clothes and stuff. You managed to pick out an outfit that would look better than a merchant, but not like the wealthiest individual in the city kind of deal.
I hand it to Gregory because Brano's just got the cloak of the Imperial seal on it.
Oh, okay.
He's going,
Okay.
And just kind of throw him over haphazardly and just kind of try to.
All right.
Schwarzenegger's gonna like look over and like kind of like do the way he's
Give a little
fucking
straight-
grown up
yeah.
as and just like
Straighten
straighten
them
him
out.
out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. See it, fix the bow tie kind of deal.
yeah, exactly.
So, Gregory, you're just standing in very like nice made clothes. They feel like silk, but cheap silk. Not the nicest quality, but they're like loose. They're airy. A little. They breathe a little more than the outfit you're currently wearing. So, seems good.
Wow. Rich people got it good.
I'd also like to find a similar set for myself to kind
Easily
of
done,
throw
yeah.
over on my shift leave. The shift leaves.
No sweat whatsoever. You managed to get that going very easily. Just describe what you guys want to look like in terms of color, but you're wearing very standard, kind of flashy desert clothes.
We definitely want to be in like familial colors of the Andors.
The Anders. Okay, yeah, so you would know that like they do a lot of work with burgundies and golds.
Oh,
Burgundy and gold trim. That's their whole thing. Even their sigil is
No.
literally just a red sigil with gold trim, and then just a pile of gold in the center with a skull on top of it.
Oh, that's dope. I love it.
You look like a convincing member of their staff. I'd say like a high-end member
Sure.
of their staff. Maybe not a
I was
family
hoping
member, but
either.
a representative of the family or something.
I was hoping to go with like a third cousin or
Yeah.
a staff member. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
exactly. You're like
Twice
you're
removed.
not quite
Yeah.
here. You're like about there, but you look the part for sure. Like you're convincing. I'd
Enough
say
of a person to go do an errand for them. That's all I'm looking for.
exactly. Easily done. You guys look the part 100%. What's the plan?
We should go and talk to them and try to get our way through. We can at least scope it out, find a good weak point to get in later. I don't necessarily think we run in and immediately, just go grabbing.
I thought for a second of just turning into like a tiny thing and going right away, but yeah, I think that'd be better.
I mean, scoping it out is always a better idea, I think.
Yeah, come back and later figure out where to come in.
We might even be able to get an audience with them with this. I am not 100% sure. I'm going to gauge the reaction of the guards, and we'll deal with it that way.
Okay. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. I'm not gonna lie. I got really nervous seeing this house.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Looking at the house now too, it is made from like everything around here is made of sandstone. It has that very yellowish brown tint. This house, is made from gray stone. So wherever they got that shit from, they put a lot of money and effort into getting it here, because there's not a quarry with that color stone anywhere in the Imperium. It is a towering house of gray stone with a red shingle roof. Very out of place here in the Imperium. Looks completely strange in architecture. In fact, Gregory, it looks very familiar to what you would have seen in the nobility around your hometown. It definitely has a little.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of a whitethorn feeling to it. It very much has that kind of European style architecture as opposed to the more like Middle Eastern Egyptian style stuff that you see in the Imperium here. It is a towering edifice of a house with 2 large lions outside the door and a fence of wrought iron and stone columns that goes around the entire estate. 2 iron gates stand with a guard post kind of in the middle. And even now, just like during the morning time, you see guards just doing cycles around the grounds at all time. You see workers in the vineyards already out beginning to pick the grapes for the morning. You see people crushing grapes on the back, preparing to make it into wine. It is already a bustling establishment.
I just kind of like start breathing really heavy, and I'm just thinking, Mr. Baker, I kind of grew up around places like this. My dad used to stand outside of one and try to get an audience like every other day, and they were really mean to him a lot. It was embarrassing and awful and terrible. So, yeah, no talking from Gregory.
Yeah, Mr. Baker has never really looked that closely at Gregory before. You know, he's rather self-absorbed, if you could imagine. What race is Gregory?
What'd you say?
Human.
What race is Gregory? Human?
Yeah, he's a
Little
little,
boy.
little human boy.
Okay, where exactly is your hometown?
Blanking on the name, DM.
Whitethorn.
Thank you. I was like, I almost called it Whitestone, and I'm like, no.
No.
From the other thing.
Nayabs, would I have read anything about Whitethorn or know anything about it?
Yeah, it's the newest kingdom on the continent. Out of all of them, it's the most youthful one in that the society that there was for was entirely wiped out at some point in history, and it was resettled sometime after. It is known to be a refuge very much for the different races of like kind of half, like the mixed races of society there. You get a lot of half orcs, half elves, things like that. It is a very cultured society. It has a lot of like very fancy art districts and stuff like that. It's got a very British feel to it. Like it's very much that line. You also know, everyone knows, it is the home of the Silver Citadel, which is basically the greatest library on the continent. It is protected by a series of warrior monks who basically train other people there to protect and pass on these ancient histories and stuff like that. They have a few places throughout, including one in Pillarstone as well. So you're quite familiar with them. They're called the Order of the Silver Scroll. It's a big merchant town. There's a culinary institute and stuff like that. There's a lot of money that goes through that kingdom. Also the only place on the entire continent that is openly allied with the elves, in that their king is married to the daughter of the elven enclave.
We might have to do a little home cooking at some point. But back to the matter at hand.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
So this place looks like a dark Silverstone. What? No.
Whitethorn.
Whitethorn, thank you. Jesus, fuck, what is wrong with me?
It's okay, man. We're all there today.
Sylvester Stallone.
This place looks like a Whitethorn building.
Same vibes. They even have the big, although I don't remember what the animals were at Whitethorn. I think they were like little dragons, maybe. I don't remember. It's all a blur. I just remember seeing my dad like covered in dirt as they would come by in the carriage and
Feel the trauma.
Get y'all racked up. No problem. We will keep you quiet.
I'm just your tired, happy little guy, little son.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. I want to start walking towards the bridge.
Easily
No.
done. So you guys kind of walk out from behind. The guards, having not noticed you before, clock your presence immediately. Are like, oh, and see you approaching. And again, they just cross the two weapons they're holding. One has a halberd, the other is a spear, and they both have shields. And say, "No entrance today to merchants and the like. It is a private day."
Don't worry, we're not merchants. And I pull out the little sheet of paper and I hand it to him.
Give me this.
We're here on official business.
And grabs it.
Straight from Pillarstone.
He like takes a little longer reading it than you'd expect. Maybe this guy's education is not right. He rolls it up. It seems to be official. Who are you visiting exactly? The Dru'Hila family.
Yes.
Don't cause any trouble. They just
For sure.
open up the weapons and let you pass. Other than that, like the document was really well forged. It looked great. They buy it completely. You walk across. You notice another set of guards on the other side of the bridge, also facing towards where you're coming from. So they're not guarding towards; they're guarding outwards from here. And you just pass. They nod very casually as you walk past, and you now find yourself surrounded by these mansions. There's two that stands out. You see the Dru'Hila one, and then there's another just massive estate. This one, as opposed to that Whitethorn kind of architecture, definitely fits in more with the Imperium kind of build. It's made of like the sandstone and everything. It has these two round tower-like buildings and then a rectangular house in the middle, and that's it. You notice there's quite a bit of stuff happening behind the fence on there. Also wrought iron on that one. There's quite a bit of farming happening. It looks like they maybe have a competing vineyard or something of some kind. They're definitely like harvesting some kind of crop back there. And then you turn up the road and you begin approaching the Dru'Hila estate and vineyard. I have a map here. I've updated it a little so the fence goes around the front as well. 1 second here. So in the daytime, that is what you are seeing.
Everybody loves a reach around fence.
Shout out. Reach around.
It has not loaded in fully there. Now I can see it. So I
Whoa!
got a little headache there.
Yeah. The fence also goes out
Look at
further around the sides of the house, but there's like a stable and stuff on either side that I didn't include in the map because it's big enough to break roll 20 almost already. So
It looks like a house from Clue. It's incredible.
I should have just stolen the clue map. Oh my god, that would have made my life so much
Mustard in the
easier.
lounge with a lead pipe.
So that's what you see. There are two wrought iron gates in the wall. There is a I didn't copy the guards onto this one, so we're gonna be looking at the night map for today because that's the only one I put guards on apparently. So looking at it at night now. It's daytime. Just use your imagination.
It's so dark.
There's a guard fully plate armored head to toe in just black steel armor. There's no flash to it whatsoever
Whoa.
here. You recognize it right off the bat as the same armor the people wore at the camp where you fought the zombie hordes. These are definitely members of the Black Fang Triumvirate, the mercenary guild that's quite famous here. The individual that's standing before you appears to be hobgoblin in nature as you approach one of the gates. He just stands kind of talking through his tusks and like out that kind of like bottom jaw, his fangs. What is your business?
We're here from the Endor family, simply trying to negotiate a trade with a member of the Dru'Hila family.
You want to
I
negotiate?
pass him the note.
He grabs it through the fence and like opens it up, reads it much quicker, like he's through it in a few seconds. Like he just peruses it basically. It seems that checks out. I don't know if they're taking visitors. Give me just a moment. He turns, he
problem.
just walks a few steps, and then you see him just put his hand to like the bottom of his ear and touch what like looks like a gold, very plain gold earring. He mutters something under his breath and comes back to the gate. Wait here. They'll be out in a
Can do.
moment. And you just kind of stand there waiting amongst yourselves, and after a while you hear this creaking sound as these massive wooden doors at the front of this mansion stand probably 10-15 feet tall, just creak open and light cascades out from the inside. And you see just this elderly gentleman. Yep, what's up?
You can continue describing just after you get done.
Oh,
with
you
the
see an elderly gentleman in like a butler suit come out, fine slicked back hair, thin mustache, just faintly curled at the tips, and a little tiny pinch of silver hair right on the chin. It doesn't start, it just starts right here, and that's it. And he walks to you with like the grace and dexterity of a younger man, but he's definitely up there in age, and he approaches the gate with his hands crossed. Mr. Maker, what were you going to say?
As we're waiting there for everybody to come inside, I want to give a very thorough, investigative look around to see if I can see any weak points or anything.
Okay.
Same.
Any
Both of you-
places where it'd be easier to get into.
Perception or investigation at this point, because you're taking a hard look at it. You're not actively touching shit, but I'll let you use what stat you prefer for this one. That's a 28. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna use.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
gonna use
like
my double from Ray.
Did 11 and
God damn
11.
it!
Oh my god, that was amazing.
11, make a wish.
I wish we don't die on this heist. So, as you're kind of taking it all in, Gregory, you're too distracted by this house. Like, it looks exactly like the one your father would wait outside and have dirt kicked onto him, basically. It's different in its own ways. Like you said, that one had, like, dragons on top, like, overlooking on the towers. This one seems to have a heavy focus on, like, lions. And you even, above the front door, like, on the top point where it comes, you actually see a sphinx. Or this weird cat-like creature with, like, a feline body and a lion's head.
It has the exact same face as the other lion. I don't know, Jesus.
Yeah, and it's just standing there. It's just pure stone. There it is. That's what you see. You see Stuart, the cat.
That's a cat.
It's just a cat.
Just golden Stewarts.
Yeah, it's alive. It's just sitting there. That's his favorite spot. And this old man just approaches the gate and says, "Yes, how may I help you today?"
What about mine?
Oh, what? Oh,
You
my
never
bad.
described what-
Sorry. I got into the cat description. So with that check, you get a very, very thorough look. You look for any weak points you could find, any breaks in the guards you can find. They keep a pretty tight ship. There's probably a couple sections on the side of the house you could maybe get over the wall as like some of the archers. So you see the guards at the two gates. There's another two midway up the drive and another two by the front door. And then just around the perimeter, you see a group of 4 archers like walking to each corner and rotating about every 5 minutes, maybe less. Go ahead.
Do I see any like places up on top of the house that might be accessible, like the maybe a window or
Yeah.
chimney?
Oh,
or...
there's plenty of windows and chimneys to take your pick from. Like there's just looking at the front, there are 2 very like on the second floor that you see. It's a 2-story house. I only did 1 floor on the map. The top is all bedrooms. Deal with it. There's 2 large rectangular, almost Victorian style windows in the front on the top floor, and then just like 2 right underneath on the front as well. There's a balcony around the side of the house that looks like it has like a tea station set up. There's a little table with a couple chairs. That looks like it could be a point of entry if need. There's definitely like a couple balconies and ledges that you could find a way to climb in if you really needed to.
Perfect.
Okay. And the old man, he says,
One more question before
Yes.
we get into it.
Mhm.
Are there any artifacts that I would know of the Dru'Hila having outside of the diamond that are particularly valuable or wanted?
roll me a history check.
Okay.
We need like a rumors check. We need something for rumors.
Yeah. 20.
That's good enough. They have a myriad of shit. Like there is an entire like museum inside of this house. In terms of things that really stand out, there's the necklace of a former oracle of Torchspire that they managed to lock down from somewhere. That one stands out. Yeah.
Just to make it easier for you, I'm thinking specifically things that the Andor family would find tradable.
Okay. I mean, you're again, that necklace is coveted. They've received many offers for it from a number of people. They have an ancient statue that they've taken from an ancient tomb that once belonged to the Undara people that is in their possession as well. Those are the 2 that really stand out apart from the gem.
Okay.
So the necklace of a priestess, basically, or necklace of an oracle, and the bust of an ancient ruler are the 2 main standouts.
Necklace of an oracle, then.
Yep.
Here.
You kind of just standing at the gates as this old man gets up to you. Yes, what may I do for you today?
I was hoping to speak to someone. I come on behalf of the Endor family, and we are hoping to open negotiations on the necklace of an oracle.
You want to negotiate? Okay, that's doable. The master's very busy today. Could you perhaps come back in the morning?
Definitely.
Okay. He pulls out like
We
just
will
a
be
piece
here
of
for
paper,
a couple of days.
flaps it out, and it like extends down to the ground, and it's like, and looking at it, it's a list of appointments that the master of this house has, and you just see him find an empty slot, pencil it in.
Oh,
He'll see you just after sunup. What were
Sounds
the
good.
What were the names?
Yeah. I forget we had names. God damn it. What were the names we picked?
It doesn't matter. You can just make some up on the spot. He just needs a couple names.
Yeah, that's fine. Next. And this is my son,
Max,
Sven.
Sven, Max, and Sven. I understand. Thank you. Be here at sunrise. No earlier, no later. We are a very busy family.
Sure.
Thank you. And he
No
just
problem.
turns and slowly saunters his way back up the path. And as he gets into the house, you see the doors just
Yes.
and they like thunderous across this little plain in front of you. They seem to be very heavy. So you have an appointment. You've taken your first steps into getting inside the Dru'Hila estate. Stanislav and Mantuka have seemingly walked into a den of inequity and debauchery, so we'll see what happens there. At that point, we're about an hour and 15 in, probably going for a bit of a shorter one today. We're going to take our break now because I really need to hit the bathroom. We'll be back in a little bit to continue with a little bit more from Mr. Maker and Gregory before getting back to Stanislav and Mantuka. We'll see y'all in 10. Please don't go anywhere. Hey, what's up, Brad? Gonna lurk for a bit. I appreciate you, homie. Thank you so much for swinging in. I love the D&D game you played with Darling Creepshow yesterday. It was really fun to see you guys doing rad shit on there. I will talk to y'all later, and we'll be back in just a few. Where is the
I am
fucking...
Sven.
You are Sven.
I
Let's
am
try to
Sven.
remember.
There we go. We're back. What's up? I love how everyone made fart noises without any orchestrating whatsoever. That was beautiful. That was a
I
beautiful
just
moment.
twirled my
We're
hair.
Just
we're
farted.
creating synergy, guys. This is great. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry about that. We've been chilling. I hope you're having a good one. I appreciate everyone who's come by tonight. We got Rad in here. Captain Clown by the no, that place, like I said, down the street, 69th door on your left, homie. They'll get you all set up. I hope you're having a good night, my friend. Hope everyone's just doing good today on this fine Monday evening. We're gonna jump back into our game now. We return to Gregory and Mr. Maker as they leave the Dru'Hila estate, having just set an appointment with the master of the house for the morning. It's probably like you guys got here around lunchtime, I believe, and got right to this. So we're heading into the late afternoon, early evening. Is there anything you two would like to get done in the city before going about your duties? It could happen either like during the evening or overnight. Just if there's anything you'd like to do in the next 12 hours before your meeting, now's the time.
I'd like to go shopping.
Okay, shopping episode. All right, we love that. What are you
Tag
looking for?
along.
All right, what are you looking for?
Not really looking for anything in particular, but there are magic shops here, so if there's anything cool that sticks out. We kind of poked our heads in, but I didn't really want to take way too much time most of them.
Okay, fair.
So,
Are you going to Bojen's or Boxins, I guess? Or are you heading back to Sandy Treasures?
Sandy Treasures, we'll go by Boxins when we leave.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So you return to Sandy Treasures, which is just beginning to wind down for the evening as the sun's kind of beginning to set. It's getting to about closing time. As you enter, the old man you saw before and the boy that he was helping him seems to be his assistant or a student of some kind. He seems to be teaching him. Are just beginning to close up shop. They're shutting off some of the candles and closing some of the things. As you enter, the old man looks up. He says,
"Oh yes, welcome back. What can I do for you today? We're just getting ready to close up, but you have a few minutes if you'd like to make a purchase."
I'd like to peruse a bit if that is all right with you.
Absolutely, young man. Feel free.
He kind of looks. Why am I looking? There's no watch. He looks at an hourglass that is on the bookshelf.
You've got about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I'm late getting home, the wife will yell at me.
Nah, do I see anything that stands out?
I mean, you can roll me a perception check, or you can just go over the thing and tell you what's on it. So there's a number of potions of healings, very standard, ranging from your standard to greater healings. There's a few scrolls that are kind of just put into a jar on a shelf and are just standing out. Nat 20 on. Okay, yeah, so you're gonna find basically everything. So you find a jar holding 3 scrolls. You find the potions, like I mentioned. There is a what appears to be a chest of some kind. I'm not. Okay, got it. Sweet. Wow, there's like a whole list of things I need to pull up. Oh shit! Oh god, you rolled so high. Nah, 20 rolled so high. Okay. Easily enough. You find the few scrolls. There's a chest that looks kind of small, and it's closed right now, but there's just like just like a little bit of frost along the edge where it closes. And it's like just like a
refrigerator.
That is indeed.
It
is literally a box of. It is a box of preserving. You find this like strange kind of bubble-like sphere, that seems to be some kind of contraption that one can wear on their head. Roll me an Arcana check to figure out what that one is.
Yeah,
if you like. You see the Cloak of Billowing, which is just on a mannequin and currently is just billowing in the corner, just doing its
goddamn cloak,
living its best life. And there's a sign under it that says 15 gold pieces on special. Everything here is under 150 gold. The most expensive thing you see is one of the scrolls has 127 gold piece label on it.
It's a magic warehouse.
The orb is a breathing bubble. You've seen these before. People use them to explore like the depths of oceans, the oasis. You know, people do tend to enjoy scuba diving in the oasis here. You find in like what looks like a little ear horn, like that you'd hold up to your ear. It has a 10 gold piece sticker on it, and then you find a strange looking pot.
I'm always interested in strange looking pots.
Yeah, it's a strange, not that kind. It is a strange looking pot that has a label of 65 gold pieces on it. And it has a sign on it that says pot. This one's actually labeled in like this nice card. It says Pot of Awakening. With a 23 Arcana, you'd be aware of what this does. You can plant a shrub in it, an ordinary shrub, and let it grow for a month. And at the end of that month, it will turn into an awakened shrub. And it will be a living plant if its roots will break the pot and destroy it when it awakens. So you have a walking shrub, basically, with you at all times.
I am Groot.
You can make it.
Groot.
I rolled this inventory literally like 5 years ago and have not opened it ever since. And this has just been like sitting here since I did this shop.
Amazing.
It is friendly towards you. Absent commands from you, it does absolutely nothing.
Cool.
It's
That's
just
awesome.
It's just cute. We got a raid from Witch Doctor. Let's go! Thank you for the raid, buddy. I appreciate you. How you doing today?
I will go ahead and pick up the Cloak of Billowing.
Yes, the Cloak of Billowing. I've been waiting for someone to pick that up. 15 gold pieces.
Well, give me a second here. How much was the breathing bubble?
That one is 30 gold pieces. A little more expensive. Being able to breathe underwater for an hour is quite the feat.
Yeah.
What if I bought both of them for 40 gold pieces total?
Roll me a perception check.
And if I bought the horn for 10
Perception or
gold?
persuasion?
You
Perception or persuasion?
persuasion.
If you'd like the horn, 10 gold is the price.
And
How
that'll
much is
sweeten
that?
the pot.
Sweeten the pot. Okay. The pot's separate, sold separate.
So go ahead and roll with advantage, Mr. Maker. Because Gregory is assisting you. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Awesome. And
19.
That sounds fair to me. Throw in the ear horn. That would be. He goes. He's kind of looking over his head. So the 10, 30, 40, and then you wanted the cloak as well. So it would be 55 minus 5. 50 total.
What does the horn do?
It's just a ear horn of hearing. It literally is for deaf people.
What?
Wait,
Why
I
do
want
we
it.
need that?
I want it. I
An
have
ear horn of
10 gold.
hearing was a magical ear
Alright,
horn that
hand
temporary.
hand over the $10, and I'll pay it.
Yeah. So
Okay, good.
With the 5 gold off for the purchase in bulk, it'll be 50 gold total instead of 55.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Can we do 48, actually? I'll roll another persuasion if I can. I have just enough to make that an even number in my coin purse, and I want to keep a noticeable tally.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check. Just straight out.
The
this
maker
time.
has OCD.
Buy the
Okay,
shrub.
26, yeah.
That's what 19 now.
I can appreciate not having loose change. We'll call it 48, and that'll be it for today.
Fantastic.
Jesus
I
Christ.
handed the 48 gold.
Okay. He just stuffs it into his coin purse. He says, he looks to
Like
the young man with
shrub.
him. You want the shrub?
No, he said I'm not buying
Aw, man. I was really hoping
Peter
someone would buy
I
wants-
the
hate
shrub.
you.
I
Peter
know
wants the
that.
walking weed so much.
Wait, you want the shrub? How much was the pot?
The shrub?
Yeah.
That's 65 gold pieces. I'll give it to
Hell
you for
no.
60.
Hell no.
Does Mr.
Person
Baker
that
say
never
that?
spend money on it. Yeah, hell no. That's a fucking shrub, dude.
I hope Mogus slaughters your family in your dream.
Don't have any family.
Praise Mogus, winning already.
he
Oh,
looks.
Mr. Baker,
Strawberry.
we're your family.
Yeah.
He looks over to the young man helping him. Probably looks about Gregory's age, and
I think that'll be it for tonight. Let's put the sign up and close up for the evening. Best day we've had in months.
he begins shuffling around and closing up. Like you gather, he doesn't sell a whole lot of stuff to the average citizen. He probably runs into the same problems you do, Mr. Maker, and that this is mostly mundane shit. But yeah, no, he seems very happy.
You wouldn't be calling my stuff mundane, would you?
No, you know what I mean, though. Like, it's stuff that the average person will already have access to. Goddamn kitty. So he begins closing up. They flip the close sign on the window.
Is there anything else I can do for you before we close up for the night?
I have 30 gold.
Tell me exactly the name of that bubble.
That is a breathing bubble.
Breathing bubble.
Are you
I will just
Googling the
the
breathing
backpack. No, I'll throw you in my backpack.
Yeah. So it is the breathing bubble. It is a translucent bubble-like sphere with a slightly tacky outer surface. You gain the item's benefits only while wearing it over your head like a helmet, and it contains 1 hour of breathable air, and it regains it all at dawn.
Cool.
You got a scuba mask for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a super cool item. It's very situationally awesome. So
Would it theoretically work in a vacuum environment?
yeah, it has an hour of breathable air in it. You could hide in a bag of holding with it, in theory. We got a raid of 11 from
Whoa.
Extirpate Fate. Extirpate Fate, what's up? How's it going?
Hello?
Welcome in. Thank you so much
Welcome.
for that raid. I appreciate it. I hope Diablo was
I
good
bet
today.
they would like shrubbery.
That's true.
No,
Everyone
Sean,
loves
I'm
it.
spending 65 gold on a shrub.
If I had the money, I would buy it for you, Mantuka,
Oh,
but
man,
I
I
This
don't.
get
is why you guys are
30
poor.
gold with your
This is
name
why
on
you
it.
guys are poor.
That's what happens when you put an enchanted shrubbery in your game.
I
Like,
bought hearing aids instead.
oh my god. I appreciate y'all swinging in. I'm Rusty. These are my friends. We're playing a little D&D. It's getting a little chaotic today. We're shopping. We were gonna do a heist, and now we're
I
shopping.
need a family to replace my family.
Thank you so much for swinging in, everyone. There's a shout out for Druid as well. I hope you all are having a great day today. We're just in the middle of a desert oasis buying some shit. We bought a bubble. They've ignored the awakened shrubbery pot, which makes Mantuka and the DM very sad. I hope you're having a good one. What's up, Bavarian? Welcome in.
Not 65 gold. I would have bought it. But that is insane.
I have no money.
You can't put a price on joy, Mr. Maker.
Are you really going to make a
You
warmongering Minotaur
yourself.
sad?
You made a warmongering Minotaur cry, okay? Like, it's canon now.
You said they got too many stubbins. I'll not have another one.
We have so many.
I alone have a fucking 3 individuals.
have
Not having a
you two.
shrub that does nothing.
We're a walking parade.
It is an adorable
It
shrub.
could
It's
be
fun.
therapeutical.
He just wants to
It
smoke it.
doesn't need therapy.
Mantuka needs cuddles, dude. Our Minotaur needs cuddles. Anyway, welcome in, everyone. Thank you for swinging by. You came in at a very chaotic time. Apparently, when you put an awakening pot or whatever in your game, it causes party division. Never could have
It
guessed
happens.
something so potentially cute would tear us apart so much, guys.
It's not the shrub that's tearing us apart.
It's
It's
the
the
cost.
$65 gold
Yeah,
cost.
well, it is what it is, you know.
Hashtag
I
not
see.
my group.
Hashtag not my group. Okay. So, as you guys begin to kind of like filter out of the building there, the old man comes up behind you. Like I said, he puts the close sign on. He's standing at the door, ready to just gesture you out and then lock up behind you.
Is there anything else, or would that be all for today?
That's all.
That'll be all. I believe in small business. You're doing a great thing.
I go and shake his hand.
Oh, thank you, young man. We try our best. We do what we can with what we have, and well, thank you for your patronage. I appreciate it.
Don't let the big man get you down.
With a cloak of billowy in my hand.
Yeah, you now have a cloak. You have a billowy cloak. As you say, don't let the big man get you down. He looks at you, he's like,
Ditto.
and he just gives you a tap on the back and closes the door behind you. As you guys exit, you hear latch as he locks up for the evening. You see all the candles inside dim, and the light from that single glass window out front just fade as he and his student, we call it, make their way into the back. As you kind of walk out, leaving the house, you see the same little boy exiting the back door of the shop, or what looks like an attached house. He says, "Thanks. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Yeah." And you just hear,
Yep, same time. Don't forget your books this time. Gonna be taking notes.
and the kid just kind of like scampers away down the alley and kind of like disappears out of your vision. The door closes.
Watching that all go down, and
Mr. Maker, you just see Gregory kind of holding the box and just kind of tapping it while it's in. He's got a big smile on his face.
And what are you smiling about?
just there's a lot of memories happening today. You know, you ever have one of those days where it's just all
No.
Just bringing up some
Oh.
trauma. No big deal.
no, but
No.
oh,
What
so
are you talking about?
you don't really think about a lot of different old memories all at once, all jumbled up together.
Well, one time I managed to sell about a 10 gold piece for about 100 gold. I looked at them that fondly. The
You know-
little piece of gargles that I got for little nothing.
That those are good memories. Yeah, that counts. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys stand in the market district of Lysia now. Just the shops all begin to close. You see the lights in the shops begin to fade. There's still some lights in the couple of the stalls that are just finishing up business for the night. That large circular building where all the hubbub was happening the previous day has gone silent as well. The crowds have completely cleared out. It is now just an empty circular building with a roof held up by pillars, but the rest is just open air. There's no walls or anything. It looks like there's a block up front where someone would stand and speak to a group of people.
I kind of like
On a stage.
pull Mr. Maker down to me, and I'm just like, do you think that they were busy earlier because of appointments, or do you think maybe something was going on?
It definitely kind of looked like something was going on. I feel like they said the guards definitely said they were not accepting people from the public today, which struck me a little odd.
Yeah.
But at the risk of, it's not really someone of nobility's place to inquire that
Yeah.
deeply.
Yeah.
Didn't really risk giving work ever.
I gotta agree. Well, let's hope it's gonna be to our advantage. Maybe they'll all be tired, exasperated.
Hopefully.
They'll be after tonight.
Let's go to the Dune Roast Inn.
You guys leave Sandy Treasures and just walk like literally street over, and you see this large bustling in. It looks like it's made of wood instead of the traditional sandstone. It looks like it's just made from the trees that grew in the oasis. It's a very old building. You can see patches that have like been redone on the panels. There's like some that have been aged more, and then like a newer panel kind of just fit in. It looks like they're constantly renovating this building here. And you enter and you find yourself in a fairly bustling tavern. It's busy. There's a few tables still empty, but it seems like mostly the night crowd has begun to gather in as the day's work has come to an end. It seems to be picking up in here. You guys are just beating the rush. Let me pull up this real quick. You see, where is there he is. You see, just working the bar, a short man, looks actually dwarvish. You see a dwarf with bright red short hair and like a full beard, but very cropped, very short and professional looking. It's not like the traditional kind of dwarven look, but it's a nice kind of like fiery orange beard. He's just like wiping down the bar currently. You see him giving orders to some of his workers who are running around, serving drinks, serving food to people. There's a smell of like some kind of like a honeyed ham or something on the air. It smells absolutely delicious in here. There is still that faint smell of like rot from the wood where meat has been spilled and absorbed. It has a bit of a dive bar smell to it, mixed in with like a dive bar with a good kitchen. Like it's.
Yeah, I've worked in places like that before.
Same. They have the best food. The warehouse in Vancouver, $4.95 for fish tacos. Best I've ever had in my life. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Babas and PEI.
There you go. That's a good one. What are you guys doing? You just kind of enter, like the doors swing open, double doors, and you stand. No one really clocks your entry at all. Everyone seems absorbed in their own thing.
Want to walk up to the guy on the counter.
Yep.
And say, we need a place to rest for the night.
Just for one, yeah.
No,
yeah, well,
I kind of jump up.
Yeah, because like he's short, so he can't look down. He has to look over the bar to you a little bit. He's like, oh, all right. So you and your little boy. So just one room then, 2 beds. That'll be for the kid. We'll give you a special. 1.5 gold pieces. So 1 gold, 5 silver.
Okay.
Okay. He just grabs it, slides it, and then reaches under the bar and hands you like a very plain copper key. It's got a little bit of oxidation on it. It's starting to rust a little. It's gonna be room 3, 3rd door on your left.
Cool.
And he immediately just goes back to business. He doesn't have like the best demeanor, like he doesn't have that customer service face to him, but you notice a lot of his staffs who are wearing very familiar collars around their necks do seem to have a little bit more of that customer service gusto to him, and he just seems to not care as much, or at least has a bit more of a gruff demeanor. But you were handed a key, told your room number, and as you guys kind of tuck in, you can grab some food for the night, get ready, and head up to your room. At that point, we are going to return to our other half of the party, who are currently walking themselves into a little bit of a situation out here in the Ember Step. So,
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
So, you guys have just begun trying to sneak into this cavern. You're gonna rush in and begin attacking whoever it is inside that stole your goods, that stole your armor, your necklace, everything ready. You try to stealth as Stanislav rushes in, not noticing you. Bing! Hit your shield on an outcrop of stone that you missed on the way, and just not catching in the gloomy kind of darkness. As you did so, you heard a voice shout out to you. Well, you may as well just come in if you're going to stand in the door. Sounds confident. Not aggressive at all, just inviting. Friendly, even.
Strange. Okay.
Let's
Well,
go,
yeah.
hero. I'm gonna kind of
Yeah.
like knock him in the back with my halberd, push him forward.
Yeah, I start walking forward
Come on, Smelly.
with Boris in front of me, looking as menacing as possible.
Boris just snarling as he kind of makes his way in one paw after the other, taking the lead. And you guys...
I mentally tell him a little bit extra drool.
Gives his cheeks a little shake just to get a little extra drool in there. You see a couple little bits starting to kind of fall out the sides. And you guys walk into this cavern that you see here. It's a large cavernous structure with a roof probably at the highest, about 40 feet high, just in the side of this mountain, in these cliffs. at its lowest about 10 feet at the edge, so it's almost like got a big dome, but it's like awkwardly shaped in a way. You see some fresh water kind of trickling out the wall on the back. Not quite a waterfall, just a steady trickle, like from some kind of underground creek that has made its way in here, filling this pool of water that is kind of gathering in the back corner. What really strikes you, though, is the cooking fire with a large gazelle on it in the middle of the room, and the smoke kind of just going up, and you see it kind of just disappear into this small hole in the ceiling that looks like it's just naturally filtering out. What really strikes you as surprising is the sheer number of people in here. So as you enter, you see standing right at the entrance of the cave as you're walking in, a massive hulking Goliath, standing easily taller than Mantuka, almost as tall as Stanislav. Just massive, big arms. I believe Stanislav was the taller one of the two. I could be wrong. If we have to reverse it, he's tall as the tallest one of you two. Does not matter. And he's just standing there, arms crossed, the gray skin and the kind of patterns that had formed, almost like tattoos. And he's just staring at you menacingly, almost like a bouncer. You see two archers on platforms on either side of the walls, and one kind of just like leaning up against this stack of boxes that has been centered in this room that just has loot piled high. Their chests overflowing with gold coins, and they just seem to be sitting here. And then there's three individuals all sitting very calmly around a table, just talking to themselves. And two appear to be halflings. One appears to be not. It's hard to tell. He's wearing a hoodie. He's about the size of an average humanoid, so definitely in like the human tiefling kind of area, not one of the shorter folk.
Do I see under that hood any?
He's not facing you. It's literally just the back of a hood. All you see is the shoulders and the back of the hood. One of the halflings is sitting away from you, but he's not hooded, so you can make him out quite well. And then the individual sitting across from them is just sitting there, hands crossed, looking over his comrade's shoulder directly at you guys. What, were you just planning on running in here and killing all of us then? Hey, what's up, folks? We got Liz, Rad, everybody. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for showing
Not
up.
exactly.
Don't cross my mind.
You sure about that? Because it looks like you're coming in here with malicious intent.
Well, you have, or somebody here has some of our stuff. It was taken from us.
Believe me, I'm aware. I've got your stuff right here.
Stanislav looks kind of taken aback. He looks on the table. Is everything that's missing there?
Yep. You see the necklace, the armor, just neatly folded. Or not the necklace, the tiara.
It's a tiara!
It's Mantuka's tiara. You see the Tuka tiara just kind of sitting on top of your folded armor, and there's a dice right in the center of the tiara.
Tuka tiara.
All right.
It's just the Tuka tiara, dude. It's great. You see your
Stanislav,
gold bags and everything there, too.
Stanislav thinks for a second, just kind of sizing up the room, realizing how grossly outnumbered they are, just puts the axe back on its holder and on his back.
That's a good idea. Come, have a seat, have a drink, have a bite to eat. We've got a lot to talk about.
Do I recognize this person at all?
Roll me a straight intelligence check. I got you, Rad. No worries, buddy. We shout out all the homies in here. It's a 1. Nope. Never seen him before in your life.
Cool.
Just seems like a very confident halfling individual. He's got like light sandy brown hair, kind of like a thin goatee. Nothing like, he's not traditionally handsome, but he's not unattractive. He's kind of in that middle ground. And he's kind of just smiling, smirking at you. He looks inviting. Like I said, he seems calm and casual about the entire thing. He just gestures to your items. I'll give it back if you sit down and have a conversation with me.
All right.
He looks over to the other two.
Sounds
Get
fair.
up. And you notice when he says get up to his comrades, he looks at the other halfling, and he speaks with like a harshness that you weren't expecting. Like, he's clearly very upset. Yeah, there's like a mild annoyance and anger with this individual. And as this halfling stands up and turns and leaves the seat, you see his face has been beaten. One of his eyes is black and swollen. One of his lips is cut and bleeding. He is not looking good. Like, he looks like he just got worked over. Pretty damn well. We got you guys. No worries for the shout out. Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna take it that as I'm sitting down, that's
Ryan's over here taking the bong rips, dude. Let's go.
I
That's the fellow who made his way into our camp.
Yeah, that would be him. That would be my little brother. He's a goddamn fool. We have rules for a reason. We don't rob people. Not this close to the hideout. Granted, he looks at your gear.
Fair.
You're carrying some pretty impressive stuff. I can understand why he had trouble keeping his hands off it, but this isn't what we do. As it stands, it's, fortuitous that you found your way to us, though. Like I said, I have much to discuss. Please, sit.
Stanislav has sat down already as he was saying that, yeah.
Mantuka, have you?
Oh.
You said something about food? Meat?
Oh yeah, no, it smells good in here. There's like you smell the smell of cooking. So Ryan busted, dude. Smoking that bong. Alright.
Yep, I'll sit down.
Okay, you grab a seat. He looks over to his brother now, the halfling that he was just yelling at. Bring him some food, it's the least you can do. You damn fool.
I'm also gonna eventually tell Boris, be friendly. Alright.
He shakes the excess drool off and kind of just like nuzzles up to one of the people he sees a little bit and just starts sniffing them. Sniffing the feet of like the woman who's kind of leaning against the thing, and she looks down. She's like, "Nice doggy." Gives him like a little scritch on the head, and then just goes back to what she's doing. She's staring you guys down, and she has like one hand ready on her weapon that's kind of holstered. She has a bow on her back, but she's got a hand on a short sword on her side. But Boris is kind of just doing his thing. The other halfling brings you over a plate of food for each of you, and what looks like a fairly cheap mead, a little watered down, perhaps, nothing too fancy.
Boris, come here.
So,
who's a good Boris? Who's a good boy? Come here, Boris.
Boris just like does his little dog thing over to you, saunters over.
I'm gonna give him a little like taster of the meat and see how he reacts.
He dries immediately as you bite. No, it's fine. He very, very happily laps it up and just starts eating it. Like he literally.
Oh, was that good? That was good, but I'm good. Get fuck off. Get out of here.
Well, shit. He just like gets sad and walks away. That's me. The food is not poisoned as far as you can tell. It seems fine. The meat is good if you try it. It's very, very plain. Nothing too special. Oh. I don't exactly need introductions from you two. You've got a pretty substantial bounty on your head.
Seems that way.
Can we get an introduction from you, mister?
My name's Race. R-E-I-Z. R-E-I-Z, yeah. Race. My name's Race. I run this little, branch of our, little guild here. This is one of our many, bases that you've now found your way into. It is a bit of a problem for us, as you can see. Secrecy is very important to people like us. And you've just gone and wandered into our hideout. So if I'm going to be letting you leave this place in one piece, well, we're going to be needing to make a deal of some kind.
Also sounds fair.
Go on.
Let's just say we could turn you in. We could have turned you in as soon as you walked into the valley. You do not keep a very low profile.
It's never been something I've been good at.
That's fine. Sometimes it works out in your favor. This is one of them. You all have something we want. Something that's more valuable to us than the price on your heads.
What might that be?
He smiles. Connections. Allies. Friends. Friends of the pointy-eared varieties, who can get certain, contraband items across the borders of the Imperium. Certain items that we could make a lucrative profit selling. Far more than we could make from turning you idiots in.
Well, I'm not really...
One of us is an idiot. And it's not smelly myself.
Stanislav looks at Boris. Well...
He looks up at you. I don't think it's me, boss.
Anyways. I'm not exactly opposed to that. I mean, I don't have the fondest of feelings towards the Imperium. My only question is that, would it help the Imperium in their efforts against what we're trying to do?
If anything, it'll work better for you than it will for them. Let me put it this way. You help us bring in the items we need. Wine, and whatever it is from the Elven Conclave we can get our hands on. All kinds of things, really. All sorts of stuff we're interested in. What we're most interested in is access to these secret little places where you covert yourselves away. Heard you found yourselves a nice little sanctuary on the eastern coasts. That spot has a lot of value to us. Somewhere we can operate without being seen. All we ask is that you allow us to set up a office in your new home. And by doing so, not only will we make a profit, but we'll also be able to smuggle things in that will help you lot. Like I said, this deal benefits both of us. I'm not a fool, unlike my brother here, who was stupid enough to steal your things. I have to give him credit, though. If you hadn't, you probably wouldn't have found your way to me.
And I mean, credit where credit's due. He did a good job.
Oh, he always does. He's the best of us at it. But he gets himself into trouble a lot, and he's hard to control. So.
Well, I don't think that I can promise you what you want, but I can talk to the people who can get you that.
That doesn't work for us. We're not letting you leave this place till we come to an agreement. That agreement is you take one of us, bring him back with you when you go. You allow him to set up shop and begin running business out of there. If anyone gives him any slack, anyone complains at all, anyone tries to stop what we're trying to do, you're going to be the one to stop them.
Doesn't really sound like I have much of a choice, but...
I mean, you do. You could try to fight your way out of here. I mean, your chances are about, say about 60-40 in your... against you.
The last fight I was in...
So you mean
like
there's
this,
a chance? Alright!
Of course there's a chance. There's always a chance. Always a chance for us to kill each other. But how often do we get to make money off each other like this?
He has a point. And honestly, if what you're saying is true, I don't think they'll have a problem with you helping us out. It sounds like your reach runs far. You obviously know a lot, so...
You don't know anything about us at all, do you?
What's your organization's name, if you're allowed to tell me?
Well, just roll me a quick perception check. You're familiar with the Thieves Guild in these parts. You rolled real shitty when you came in here. Still shitty. You don't really pick up a whole lot. Oh, there's a 9. Not quite enough. You don't recognize any like markings on them. And part of their thing is they don't really... You do know that there is one very large thieves organization that operates on this continent, and they're known as the Gambit. Seems like that's probably who he's referring to, though you can't be sure with that roll. As a part of the deal, as a little bit of assurance from us to you, you have our word that we won't rob anyone who makes their way into your little sanctuary there. But everything outside of it is fair game.
We're not with anybody outside of it.
Good.
Alright, you have a deal.
Good. Puts out his hand and shake.
Yeah. That's to Stanislav.
Gives you like a proper businessman handshake too, not like the grip in the forehead. He shakes your hand and looks you like he's sizing you up as he does so. So, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Well, let's start with the bad news.
You sure? Might soften the blow a little bit. Well, the good news is you can have your stuff back, and he slides over all of your items to you.
Thank you.
Sierra!
Well, the bad news
gives a little side eye to beat ass.
Oh, the bad news. You'll be taking my brother with you. It's the only one I'm willing to spare, and believe me, I could use some time away from the little shit.
Fair. Well, I mean...
Rars! Get over here. You got work to do. And you see the other halfling kind of begrudgingly come over. What is it you want this time, brother? You're going with them. Have fun. Don't get into any trouble, or they'll cut you in fucking half. Got it? And he just looks at it. Got it. Yeah.
Mr. Smelly, you got a playmate!
Smelly's like, he just looks over at him. Oh, you're in for a treat.
Stanislav is going to put his hand on, what was the other guy's name? His brother?
R-A-E-R-S. Rares.
Stanislav puts his hand on Rare's shoulder. Don't worry, I forgive easily, and I'm going to put enough flay on hands in him to heal up the bruising and beating.
No, okay. The eye swells down a little. The cut in the lip kind of closes up. There's still blood caked on his face, so he takes 5 points healing back. Raze looks over at him. Oh, hey, they're nicer than I am. I would let you suffer. Don't be too nice to him. You're going to soften him up. We need him to be a little bit tougher. Look at that beating like an absolute coward.
There's a 75% chance I'm gonna blast you with my jazz here when you go to fucking sleep, child.
If he dies, we're going to have problems, so keep him safe. Once you get him there, if he gets into any trouble on his own, that's his fault.
I make no promises.
I push Mantuka, but he'll be fine.
The brother kind of like Raze looks at you and laughs. Like he gets a clear moment of joy out of that. Oh, looks like we've got ourselves an accord then. Good. Let's drink. Let's celebrate. Think of it more as a aggressive partnership.
Oh, I've got nothing better to do. Stanislav picks up his meat and
yeah.
It.
It's up to you how long you guys want to spend here, but we'll say before we move back to our other group that you guys, with your new companion, spend the rest of your evening drinking and eating with your new thief friends, having made a new contact and seemingly ally who can help you in other ways against the Magus Imperium.
Smuggling of people.
As you guys kind of wind down for the evening, you can sleep here if you want, or you can head back to camp. That's up to you. As you begin to leave, Ray's just like, there's a path, by the way. You don't have to climb up those cliffs. Though it was funny watching you try.
I think that was rather impressive.
Oh, it was, except for the little man dangling behind the Minotaur, just smacking into all the rocks. That was funny as hell.
Super impressive feat of strength.
That's pretty funny.
And he goes over to his brother and he, like, puts his arm around him and, like, draws him into, like, forehead to forehead. He's like, don't do anything fucking stupid, alright? I'm not gonna be around to protect you. Next time you steal something from people who could probably kill you with one fucking swing. Got it? His brother's like, yeah, got it. Thanks. He just gives him, like, a little slap on the cheek, like knocks a little sense into him, and then sends him on his way with you guys. Good luck. Be safe. You gotta hydrate from insomnia. Thank you, insomnia.
And
the armor slung around the shoulder. I appreciate you being honest with us.
Yeah, be a little more careful with that. You guys were all too easy to sneak up on, apparently.
We didn't think so, but
excellent. You can teach Mr. Smelly the art of deception and paying attention to shit when he's on shift.
Rare's just like, maybe we could teach him the art of fucking showering a bit. Oh,
that's awesome. You can do that. I entrust you in bathing my friend.
I appreciate your trust. And together, the group of you with your new halfling roguish companion leave the cave and make your way back to camp as the evening begins to close. And we'll end out your portion. We're making a family. We're creating alliances and we're making bridges here, people. So we're going to pop back to our other group. We'll come back to you guys as we wind up the session here. Let's return to Mr. Maker and Gregory.
I trust you with bathing him. Oh my god.
So, the rest of your evening passes without incident. You sleep in your fairly well-appointed room. It's simple, like the bed is comfortable but plain. The sheets are not soft but not coarse, that like aggressive middle ground, like the mid-tier hotel level shit. But you do get a nice evening's rest.
I'd like to also not sleep, but like kind of keep a watch on, make sure nobody comes in the room, as Gregory still needs to disguise himself again.
Okay. It does lock from the inside, and there is a chain on it, if that helps you. Cool. The doors are lockable. Oh yeah, no, it's like, they want you to be safe. Like, they do know crime is an issue, so there's like...
it was kind of a shitty one compared to the other one, so I just assumed...
It's like, it's shitty in the sense that it's like a little more run down and not as...
6.
Basically, but like, they also know that having good security is what keeps guests coming in the doors, so you gather there's not a lot of robberies that happen in the rooms at night. But there is a chain on the door and a bolt, and then it's like a lever that latches down. So throughout the night, you guys manage to rest. You keep watch as much as you will, and you manage to get a full night's rest. So if you guys want to hit the long rest button, you feel free to do so. You're up bright and early the following morning, just before the sun is going to rise. It's still dark out. It is quiet on the streets, but you begin to just see ever so faintly see a little bit of light on the horizon, signaling it is almost time for your meeting at the Dru'Hila Estate. Is there anything you'd like to do here at the inn before you head out? Or can we...
First off, I kind of put the hand on Gregory's shoulder and say, remember the plan. Change your face, shut your mouth.
Yep, and yeah. Oh, so we're gonna go and are you gonna offer something to did you think of anything with that?
I'm going to perform a basic diplomatic mission. They happen all the time. People come in, they offer up questions, begin negotiations, and have to communicate with their uppers before they're allowed to make a deal in the first place. So it wouldn't be too hard for us to slip in there, maybe find a way to slip away gingerly and take a look around. If not, at the very least, we will have more of an idea of what we're looking for, where it would be stored. So try to keep an eye out for anywhere it might be, any storeroom or any weird room closets that look like they shouldn't be there. Anything that looks suspicious.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be good. All right, let's do this. I just open up the box, put my hand all the way in it, and then just pull out this little guy here, and it just it's like a magical girl transformation. You just see Greg do two little spins, cut himself all the way up from the top of it to the tip of his head, and then he just turns into the little boy version of turns into Junior.
Lil Junior, Maker Junior. So the two of you leave the Dune Rest Inn in the early hours of the morning. The streets are almost deserted. People have started to file out. Some shops are starting to trickle open. You smell what smells like someone making a fresh pot of coffee or something like that. This has a very, very nice aroma, and there's someone just out of a stall on the street corner selling baked goods, and has just a thing where he's just serving cups of this steaming hot liquid to people. They do have coffee here. Very valuable commodity. But you see a little lineup starting to form there. Get a coffee. Okay, you wait in line. It takes probably about 2 minutes, not long. It's just 3 copper pieces, very cheap, for 2 cups of coffee if you'd both like one. 1.5. It's literally 1. No, it would be 2 for 1, 3 for 2. That's it. Yeah, because you get a discount if you buy double.
Cool.
You guys tuck in, begin sipping your nice morning coffee. It's hot, it's fresh, it is fragrant, it's good. It's a very nice morning roast. You feel a little caffeinated as you begin making your way up through Lysia back towards the estate quarter, where all the fancy houses are. You get to the gates and are once again greeted by the guards, who had a quick showing of your official document, very quickly let you through without even words. You just show it out, he reads it, it's all good, and just gestures you through. You make your way up, and you return to the gates, the tall iron gates of the Dru'Hila Estate once again. In that kind of eerie morning sunlight before the sun has come up, you see the vineyard and the trees kind of just casting these long shadows, ever so faintly. It's got almost a creepy feel to it. There's a little fog kind of lingering off the oasis this time of morning. And as you approach the gate, you see the old gentleman who greeted you the day before. Yes, hello. It's good to have you back. Thank you for arriving on time.
Nothing if not punctual.
We love punctuality. If only everyone was as such. And he just gives it one of these to the guard. The guard comes over and opens the gate for you. Gestures. Please follow me. It will not be long. He's just finishing up some morning business. He's going to be taking breakfast with you in the sunroom.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And he leads you.
I take a sip of my coffee.
Yep. Leads you up this cobblestone path that is immaculately made, also not out of sandstone. So they even imported the bricks you're walking on it. They dropped a lot of serious money on this house. You're led up to the front door, which is this towering, it looks like maybe oak. This very nice wood that has been stained in this dark color with these gold handles and golden knockers on them. And as you approach, the doors just open as 2 guards push it in from the outside, having been waiting your arrival. He just, wipe your feet and do not break anything. Contents of this
Yeah.
home are worth, well, a small fortune.
Don't worry. We're well versed in that.
Mm-hmm.
Greg just like interlocks his hands together and just holds them like in front of his chest.
Kid.
Good. Follow me. He leads you in
Mhm.
into this like grand open foyer. A couple benches on either side, and 2 candelabras burning at the end. There's another 2 guards stationed in here as well. They just like reach over and open the door, and as you enter, reveal this grand main hall. It probably goes about 50 feet back or so, maybe more. And there's these 2 marble staircases going up either side that join in the middle, and you see it branch off into 2 hallways, gathering towards what you would guess would be the bedrooms. You see
Actively, as we're walking and checking all the stuff out, I want to be looking for anything that might lead to a vault or a storeroom of some kind.
Okay. Roll me
Stealthily.
a perception check. That's easy enough. You're just taking in the surroundings. And while you're rolling that, you're walking. Oh, nice. With the 20. Good thing you get advantage on those. You don't, right off the bat, you don't see anything that like strikes you as leading somewhere. However, one of the staircases with a 20, you do see like there's identical panels on the inside of either of the staircases, but one looks like has a spot where it's been worn by possibly someone pushing on it or sliding it open or something. You definitely pick up that there's something there.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, Boofa guy. Thank you for swinging by. I appreciate you. Have a good night. You come into this grand entryway. There's suits of armor on the walls. There's artifacts hung up everywhere. Oil paintings. And above this grand stone fireplace at the back of the room, behind this large marble table, is the portrait of a family. It looks like there is... where did I fucking go? It looks to be 5 of them. An older man, an older woman, and then 3 kids, two boys, 1 girl, who all look very similar. They all have their dad's very striking features, though you notice that the daughter seems to have her mother's cheekbones and nose, whereas the men inherited their father's kind of like firm jawline. And they're all just standing in a very, very gaudy, traditional, like noble's estate portrait kind of thing that you'd see there. Just an image depicting the family. You kind of get a little personality from each of them based on it and based on how they're posed and stuff. If you'd like to roll an insight check on that to like read into how they're presenting themselves, you can.
Also, do I know, having gone through like, you know, being one of the people that kind of schmooze his way in the fucking high roller type of world, would I know something about like maybe either this area's like type of greeting, like any fancy special ways they greet each other or anything?
Traditionally, the nobility meet each other with a bow, just generally speaking, but like a light one, not like a super deep bow, just like a small nod of acknowledgement and respect. Other than that, I had a firm handshake and a pleasant greeting is enough to get it done. There isn't anything specific or anything that's like culturally significant. Just the bow, that's kind of common.
Just trying to sell them.
Oh, absolutely. Good question. So based on that insight, Gregory, you don't get much. You're still like just taken aback by this entire thing. We're reminding you so much of your home. It's startling to you. Mr. Maker, however, with that insight, just looking at that portrait, you pick up very quickly. The father and one of the sons both have the very similar pose and stature. They have a very similar demeanor, both very serious and grave faces. Don't appear to be too humorous in nature. Whereas the youngest looking son and the daughter have a bit more of an impish smile on their face. They seem to be a little more troublemaker. And then the wife, or the older woman, who you can assume to be the wife, is just sitting there, hands crossed, like the picture of calmness. Like completely chilled out and relaxed and just very, very powerful. And you're led in to this room, and then you kind of veer off to this door on the left here, where you see, oh wait, no, my bad, door on the right. And you enter that, and you now find what looks like a large wooden table made from pieces of the palm trees outside with enough chairs around it. It's kind of got like these massive windows in the side that are tall, very open. They even curve up to meet the next floor of the house a little. Very typical sunroom look, and the table is just being set right now as you guys are led into it by a number of workers, all of whom are dressed fairly similar in what you'd expect servants or something in an estate of this type to wear. Though something strikes you immediately about these people is none of them are wearing the collars that you've seen so commonly amongst the Magus Imperium. They all appear to be freely employed of some kind, and you had heard rumors before of this family that they are the only family in the city of wealth who does not keep slaves. They hire all their workers, they let them live on site. One of the buildings in the back is where they live, and everyone is paid a fair wage for their work. And they've been doing that for quite some time. The staff seem happy, and they're just putting out food. They smile as you enter. They all greet you. You're led to seats, leaving each head of the table open for the masters of the house, and you just gestured to one of the seats on the side here. And as like the sun is now creeping up, and like the rays of light have begun to come into the room, that nice early morning sunlight. You smell bacon, sausage, very, very hearty breakfast being prepared for you. If you take a seat there, the master will be down with his wife very shortly. I believe his youngest son will be joining you as well. I will be back in a few moments to check up on you. Is there anything I could get you to drink to start? Water, tea, coffee, juice?
I could take a tea.
Tea it is? Anything special? Just lemon?
Just lemon.
All
Simple.
right. And you, little man?
Same, please. Thank you.
Okay, tea for the young man. Very odd. And he just makes his way out. He leaves. And in a few minutes comes back with what you asked for. He gets a tea for each of you. It's nice. A hint of lemon to it. And then about 5 minutes after that, you see the door open. And the gentleman from the painting, wearing a different outfit, but carrying himself no less regally. A little more simply dressed in this one. He's definitely not standing on any huge occasion, but he's dressed professionally. Enters and sits at the head of the table after first pulling out the chair for his wife, who is an older woman with very high cheekbones and kind of a thin jawline, who sits down with like a very high neck, very regal, stately appearance. And he slides the chair in after. He says, and he kind of just leans in, whispers something in your ear. You don't quite make out, and he smiles. She smiles up at him, and he goes around to his seat and grabs himself a seat. Welcome. We haven't had guests in quite some time.
Usually thank you for having me. I would have assumed by that large list that I assume your butler pulled out that you'd have guests all the time.
Yeah, not for me, unfortunately. I'm busy with other things. I have to travel for most of my meetings. My wife takes all the meetings at the house usually.
Good thing I was able to catch you.
Oh, yes. Well, as this was involving family artifacts, we felt it was rather prudent. I return with haste. So I made my way back late last night for your convenience.
We appreciate that.
And at this point, like, people are bringing down food. He begins like taking his breakfast. He was very simple, just sausage, bacon, toast, and eggs. Very, very traditional breakfast. He just begins sitting and eating. So, what is it you would like to discuss with me? As I was told, there was business with the Anders family.
I believe. It's going to come to no shock to someone as astute as yourself, and that the family I represent is interested in procuring your necklace. Did you say a specific oracle?
The necklace of the oracle. We do not know from which oracle it came. Rumor has it is several thousands of gold, however. You understand such an object would fetch a rather large price. I don't know if Mantuka's rolled. He rolled a bunch of athletics checks. Some of them were at advantage. I'm just going to assume that was one of them. There were many checks made. I haven't had to roll at all yet, actually, so I haven't had to take my disadvantage, which is nice. It feels good. Such an object has quite the price. We've haven't been willing to part with it so far. So if you're going to make us an offer, it better be a good one.
Well, the family I represent has requested to open negotiations with you, see just about what you would be willing or open to the idea of taking for it. They have recently come across some older texts that have mentioned the necklace and are very eager to get a proper look at it for themselves.
redacted documents involving the necklace. We haven't even found such things, and we have been looking.
Well, to be 100% honest with you, they're not sure it is the necklace that you currently own, which is another reason why they are so, for lack of a better word, belligerent about receiving it.
Oh, so they're like you to inspect the goods, then? Am I to understand that, right?
If possible. If not, I fully understand. You know,
No,
family treasures.
no, we never skip an opportunity to show off some interesting trinkets. Bilson, and you see the butler come back in. Yes, sir. Would you be so kind as to fetch the necklace of the oracle, please, from the safe? You see Bilson like, the safe, sir. Yes, the safe, Bilson. Right away, sir. And he goes, and he's like, he's not happy about being asked to go down to the safe. The guy just looks at you. He'll be a couple minutes. We can dive into our food now if you'd like. Anything particularly like for breakfast, or is just the standard fare good? What about you, young man? I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself to you yet. Not every day people bring their children to business meeting with them. I respect a man who keeps it in the family.
Well, I'm trying to train him into the family business.
Very wise. Start them young. Just don't let them have. Just don't let them have too much access to money. Sometimes it turns them into little shits.
But he lives a rather modest life.
Good.
That's a word for it.
I recommend that. Make him earn his own fortunes. That was the mistake we made, right, dear? And the wife at this point. Yes, absolutely, dear.
I'm the salt of the earth.
Okay.
I'm sure you are, you little man. What a sweet son you are. Really, truly charming. At this point, Bilson kind of makes his way back in the door, and like roll. I need everyone to go ahead and just roll me like a straight up perception or insight, one of the two. And he's holding this this case that is completely enclosed in glass with a wooden bottom, and it's beautiful. Nice, double 18s. This beautiful like purple silk pillow that it's resting on, and it's just, you see this very almost plain medallion. Like it's got just a simple leather chain, but there's a gold insignia on it that you do not recognize. Like it doesn't represent any house that you've seen. It is literally just a sun rising over a mountain and disappearing into a cloudy sky. It's about yay big. It's very plain, but it's like immaculately kept in here. There's not a speck of dust on it. Perception 13, 18. Immediately the first thing you notice is Bilson is very out of breath. Like he had to either travel quite some distance, go up a large number of stairs, or otherwise do some kind of physical activity to get down to the vault and back. But there's like a little sweat on his brow, a little bit. There you go, sir. Straight from the vault for you, sir. Thank you, Bilson. You may go have yourself some breakfast, please. Enjoy your morning. We shan't need you further. Thank you, sir. He goes and just goes off and does his own thing. And you guys are just left. The servants leave you all unattended at this point. Every now and again, one kind of pops in to check in and make sure you don't need a refill on something. But for the most part, it's just you and the family. About 20 minutes in, the younger son from the painting comes in. Very, very handsome individual, kind of darker skin tone, nice black goatee, and longish kind of swept back hair, just kind of right to about his shoulders. Looks a lot like his dad, but has a few of his mother's softer features as well, like the nose and the cheekbones. He just walks in. Well, what's for breakfast today? And father, so nice of you to join us. I was worried you weren't going to wake at all after the night you had. Dad, you know, I'm like, sometimes things get a little crazy over there. Okay, just okay. And he sits down and just begins like eating kind of silently. There's a little bit of awkward tension in the air as this exchange happens.
Gonna make not like overly emphasized, but like one of these kind of eyeing inquisitively without prying.
You get a look. You kind of know, like it's kind of picked up on by the head of the house there. Who would have introduced himself as Ilsar, if I remember to introduce my characters ever.
that-
So he would have introduced
I don't
himself
either.
as
Yeah,
Ilsar.
we don't
and-
either, so
yeah.
it's fine.
I'm Ilsa, or Ilsar.
This is my wife, Vara.
I am Max, and this is Sven.
Hello.
But,
Max and Sven, good to
People
meet you.
have taken to calling him Junior, so you can feel
What's
free.
up, Mango? Junior, this is my son, Ayla. He's, he decided to grace us with his presence today. What's up, Mango? Welcome in, buddy.
How old is this boy about, do you think? Would I be able to
Probably
clock?
early 20s. He's
Early
not
20s?
a teenager anymore, but he's definitely like young teens, and he has the look of a hangover. Like he's definitely under the weather this morning. It looks like he was out pretty late partying last night. As the meeting goes on, he kind of like brings out this medallion to you and puts it on the table. Would you like to inspect it more closely?
Yes, if possible, for sure.
Oh, please, absolutely. It's quite the story, you know, how my grandfather found this. And he opens it up, and he
Intel.
just begins waxing poetically, like this 20-30 minute long story with unnecessary amount of details about how his grandfather was like trekking through the Incendus Mountains and found this in an ancient tomb. And the story goes on for arguably too long. Like at a certain point, you're kind of starting to glaze over. You even see Ilar just like half falling asleep in his food. He's heard this story 12.5 times, if not more.
I will
So-
listen intently
The
to
thing,
the whole thing.
the main
It's falling asleep.
the main details
Yeah.
it gives you is that it was located in a mountain just south of Tursa in a tomb, which you know is a city on the far west coast of the Magus Imperium. Why do we do it? We do it because we hate hangovers. Oh, they're terrible. You guys discuss. So, what is it he would be willing to offer me for this artifact of just very intrinsic value to our family?
What things would I know from the other side, the Endo family that I was looking up earlier?
Like what
and
they
I was trying to figure out
what they would
what
have.
they would have, yeah, like any
Their
artifacts of
their
the-
big claim to fame are a sword taken from the follower of a follower of Torm's chapel or tomb. A very famous sword belonging to a follower of Torm.
I want that sword.
Sword of
I
the
want it.
Sword of the Just. It is called.
Just a sword.
Just the sword. Just a sword. That's what it's called. yeah.
If I can't get my shrubbery, that's all I gotta fucking say.
So you would know they're the sword of the just is their big claim to fame. Other than that, countless like ancient scrolls. They're more focused on like library and selling knowledge and locations of things to other tomb raiders as opposed to getting their hands dirty themselves. So
Sure.
the sword is going to be their big one. They also have like an ancient helm that they unearthed somewhere on the eastern coast of the continent that once belonged to some great elven warlord that has long since been forgotten. That's the two main items, and like the elven helm is like it's probably their biggest. The sword is up there, but that's
Sure.
their
Okay.
biggest
The
accomplishment.
sword
was
would
that.
probably be what they would be willing to.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in addition to access to the family's the vast library of knowledge, we would also be willing, if you were, they would prefer to pay outright gold, but I am well aware that you have rejected similar offers before. So how does the Sword of the Just strike your fancy?
I would be lying if I said haven't wanted to have a look at that for quite some time. So, are they looking to trade the item or just have access to it? That's the big thing.
Well, it surely depends on what you're currently all right with. The Andor family is willing to be quite
Accommodating?
yeah, sure, that works. Not the word I'm looking for, but that works.
We've had a lot of
Quite
that today.
accommodating.
Flexible.
Yeah, not I have the word in my head,
And
and
now
it just
it's gone.
yeah, and is willing to be quite accommodating for this particular object. So coming across these these older documents have kind of renewed their interest, shall we say.
Fair enough. So an outright trade, then, is what they're looking for.
Ideally.
Trade the two items and share the knowledge. Am I correct in my understanding?
Very correct.
Looks at his wife. They have like a silent kind of couples moment. He just nods. Very well. We've been looking to update the collection for quite some time, and while it is hard to part with this particular item, it's safe to say we've learned all we can stand to learn about it, and if they have a means of unearthing anything more, it would only benefit society to do so. So, you have a deal.
Fantastic.
You understand I can't simply send this item you.
Of course.
I would have to have my own people transport it safely across the continent. No small feat, mind you, so what do you say we give it a week? Get my people ready and put a convoy together. You do the same, tell your people to be ready in a week to send it out. At which point we'll meet halfway and exchange the goods.
Sounds like a perfect situation to me.
Sounds reasonable. We will do what we need to do on our end. I'll be in touch with the patron of your family sometime in the next couple of days to confirm all the details. But for now, you're welcome to my home if you'd like a place to stay. There are guest quarters. You are a guest. You're a business partner, and you're free to all my house has to offer.
I would much prefer that to staying in the dingy inn that we smelled last night.
You found your way to the dune rest, then, have you?
Yeah. Well, it was what it was.
It is what it is, but, well, the beds are comfortable and they're bug-free, so you really can't complain too much.
True, and especially the way over here was not nearly as accommodating. But a place such as this, especially with such nice architecture, is definitely more preferable.
Quite a trip down from Pillarstone these days with all the banditry running around, the rebellions. I take it you passed the remnants of the camp at Adrock. It was all but destroyed from what I hear.
Right.
Adrock was a slave camp? That's TUD if Adrock was a slave camp.
That was the one you blew up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't actually ever learn the name. Nobody ever told me that people just called it the slave camp.
No, it was Adrock because it's next to the ruins of Adrock, so it was just
Okay,
it
cool.
kind of absorbed and became all one place. So
Yes.
I
Terrible sight that. Everything in ruins. You should have seen the town on the way past completely blown up. Whoever did it must have been either insane or a genius, and I can't figure out which.
Well, it's hard for me to find any issues with what occurred.
Really?
Look around, little boy. What do you see?
A lot of.
When I stop at like the sun, and I'm just like,
A lot of really cool people.
Beyond that.
It seems like.
I'm gonna try and pat him on the shoulder, like the calls.
Exactly.
Right.
Believe me when I tell you that I only live here because this is the single most historical part of our continent. If I had my way, I would probably find myself elsewhere, but the Elven Conclave isn't exactly likely to welcome families from the Imperium. I would have rather my ancestors not set up shop here, but they did.
I can't say I don't agree, but I think you know as well as I do, being in my line of work, not really the best idea to stop my own beliefs willy-nilly.
You're free to speak your mind here. Believe me, my
Then
son
I think he's
has...
more along the line of a genius.
I'd be inclined to agree if he managed to break that many slaves out from under Imperium rule. No small feat, and, well, it's got the Got the Imperium quite up in arms about the whole.
I've heard.
Well, if you hear any more, please let us know and be interested to keep up with any news thing that might be going on. Roll me an insight check.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, anyone who wants. Totally fine.
Boop, boop, boop.
Can I roll an insight check even though I'm 5 kilometers away?
No, fuck
That's
it.
a 15 if that helps.
Okay. 19 or 50. There is like a
Mind melts.
there is a tone under his breath that suggests a little more than what he's saying. Like there is an actual interest in following the events of the rebellion here, and he's just trying very hard to not come outright and say that.
Can you out of game?
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
It seems
What
like
do you mean, what way?
he seems like he might have a bit of a vested interest. Not quite a vested interest, but definite interest. Like he
I meant more
With-
specifically.
with
like,
a-
what does he want to know?
Gregory would pick up more on it than
Okay.
anyone else. He is interested in helping.
Interesting.
This is a family who has stood very staunchly against something for as long as they have lived here. And he's kind of probing you guys at this point. Like there's a definite push. Nudge, if you will.
Well, here, guy.
I kind of like clock that a little bit, and I look over at Mr. Maker with like a, Jesus, I'm sorry, I gotta do this. Look, and I just look over at the big guy and, have you looked into going into another town? Have you heard about Whitethorn?
I have. I've done business with them on many occasions. Unfortunately, it's very new. Not a lot of history there for me to unearth. And as I'm sure you're aware, looking around, and now that you're clocking it, a lot of the artifacts in here are Undaran in nature. Like these are. It seems like he very much is interested in researching the ancient civilization of elves that once lived here, which is why he centralizes his entire business, home, family here.
It's just, I have a, pen pal there.
Pen pal.
Yeah, we met in travels and we kept in touch. He's told me about this family that started sending people out and finding things. I think you might want to put a bit of a magnifying glass over that place. It might be blowing up soon. Just saying. Don't mean to interrupt.
Whitethorn.
Yeah. It's the Zafattle family.
What about them? I know of them. I've done business with them before.
Yeah, they're a tiny little group. But they've started to find things outside. They've been vague about it, but they're getting places. And when it comes to the things that happen in the Imperium, they are quite staunchly against them.
Mr. Mega does like a little nudge under the table with his knee.
What
Speaking of
is
the
it?
rebellion.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is it you're not telling me? Altogether, he rolled a 19 on his insight check there.
Jesus Christ. Can't we only gonna roll a counter deception?
You can if you want. He's not trying to determine if you're liars or not. He's just sizing you guys up, and with a roll that high,
Okay.
he's just kind of picking
Fair.
up on some stuff. The knee under the table was a bit of a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't believe outright that you're just lying to him, but he's definitely picking up that there's like subtext happening here that's not quite connecting.
What do you know about the individuals that perpetrated the releasing of several thousands lives?
I didn't catch that last part because your AI voice changer went real weird
Several-
on me there.
Several
Yeah.
thousand slaves.
Several thousand slaves.
Well, I can't exactly thank them, even though I know for a fact one of them is sitting in the house. He takes off his glasses, polishes them on his shirt.
Which one does he look at, God?
He has not taken his eyes off Gregory this whole
Damn
time.
it!
Yeah, he shouldn't have said so foul.
No, he knew I was fucking lying the moment I walked through the door.
You should got your mouth shut. This is the in character.
He's laughing. The wife is also laughing. They both seem to have smiles on their face at this point. Did you really think I wouldn't have any kind of way of detecting if people are traveling under magical disguise in my own home?
Well,
Puts his glasses back on. There we are.
how he does that, like,
Yeah, same. Just
As Mr. Maker like transforms again, he's taken aback for his. Now that I was not expecting.
oh yeah, yours is
well,
more like
yeah,
physical.
mine's not magical. Mine's just a fucking racial basis.
Yeah, no, it's just who you are.
You're human, silly putty.
Yeah,
You're,
that's fair.
you're clay
should've-
fighters.
We very much should have suggested that. Look, I'm gonna cut to the chase here.
Please.
Um,
Breakfast is short, and I do have other meeting.
As we weren't sure how, we knew the basis that you were not necessarily for slavery, but weren't quite sure about the extent of it.
Staunchly
We need
opposed,
something from
but
you.
unable to act publicly.
Right.
We need something very desperately, actually.
Beyond the necklace, I take it. And if we're putting all
Yes.
the cards on the table, I take it that story about the sword is
Absolutely.
bullshit then?
Complete and total bullshit.
Well,
Sorry.
color
Sorry
me
about that. We needed a
disappointed.
pretense.
Nope. It got you in, so it was effective. Believe me, I've used a few such ruses in my day. You know what we do. You know who we are,
Yeah.
right?
For cure of magical artifacts.
We are
I
the
have-
procurers of magical artifacts.
I did not learn about Dru'Hila and Pillarstone. I am well aware of your reputation and very impressed by it.
Good.
Keep in mind now all the magical shit that Mr. Maker has is visible again.
Tark misses you,
Shut
man.
up, Tark.
Tark
I'll be
misses
back.
you, homie.
I'll be back. I'll have another stream in a week or so.
Oh
Don't worry
shit,
about it.
let's go.
Coming
I'm
back.
excited. I'm excited.
Um,
So what do you need from me? If the sword is bullshit and you don't have anything to offer, what is it you need? Cut to the chase, please. My coffee's growing cold.
we need access to a particular diamond that a certain king owned.
The
Now
Star of
I
the
know
King.
is in your possession at the moment.
Ah, the Star of the Kings, yes. What
We
do you
have
need?
come across a large, how would you put it? Spectral lock
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
that requires that very specific diamond.
Well, I knew it had a use. We just haven't been able to figure out what it was. We assumed for the
We also
longest
need a
time it
few-
was simply a symbol of dwarven power for all that time, but I always suspected there was more to it. What do the dwarves have to do with stars? What interest do they have in...
That is
Ryastra!
precisely what we're trying to figure out.
That's not a name
What'd you say?
most people know.
Ryastra. She's the Star Speaker, I think, is what I
She was.
it's all very jumbled for me, but
She was the last. How do you know that name?
I might have had a tiny little chat with her.
At this point, like, he's put down his coffee, he's not eating it, he's leaning on the table, like, completely absorbed. And
Yeah,
I'm getting
welcome to
chills
this
over
part.
here, just so you know.
while we're discussing this, would you mind dropping the disguise there, young Gregory?
Oh yeah, by the way, on the name of dropping the disguise, I was the one that blew up the walls. Thank you. Very proud of himself, does a little.
Impressive. We tend to prefer things a little more subtle, but impressive nonetheless.
Did the job.
Young Mr. Zafadal.
Absolutely. He pulls out the knife and kind of taps the side of his head with it, and it just all crumbles away.
Well, there you are. I've not seen you in a few years. How's your
Huh?
father doing?
Dad's doing. I don't know. I kind
Would you-
of took off.
Would you like to? Last I heard, your father was rather distraught that a particular young man stole his most valuable magical artifact and fled off into the night, a mere boy of 15.
I put the box behind me.
I'm 16 now.
Oh.
Not that that matters.
Congratulations on, progressing into manhood. You understand this puts me in a rather difficult position, yes? Your father is a friend of mine.
Yeah. I kind of didn't think he had gotten that good. He kind of kept a lot of his business things secret from me.
He did. I'll be honest, your father doesn't have much to offer, but every now and then he finds something of particular interest to me. We've done a couple deals in the past. Granted, last time you probably would have been about that big. It's been some
Oh.
time. But he sends me updates. I've received pictures and everything.
Wow. Yeah, he I think he might have mentioned you, but again, he would never have told me that he was in business. He would have just said maybe he knew you.
Your father is a simple man. He is not overly ambitious, but like I said, he occasionally comes across the occasional item of use, and he's a good businessman for the most part.
That's kind of why I ended up. I heard he was going under, that everything was gonna fall apart. I took the box, I ran, and I went to look for something that could save all of this.
Done a pretty good job of that box.
Noble
Thank you.
Noble intentions, I can see. You are aware that I need to let your father know you were here, correct?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Can you do me just the biggest favor if
Wait
If
until
I
you
promise-
leave.
yeah.
I got you.
Thank
You
you.
clearly got some work to do, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna need to try to figure out a way to tell your father that his son is a wanted criminal.
Yeah, I
I
kind
take
of
it-
figured.
You guys saw these on your way in, then? He slides over.
Oh, no, I didn't.
A series
Give
of
me-
wanted posters containing Gregory, Mantuka, and Stanislav. Mr. Maker, the face that's on yours is not at all your face. It's
Terry?
in fact, it is the face of Terry. It says last seen as, and it looks like Terry. There's currently a reward being offered of 400 gold apiece for each of you, I think it is, or is it up to 500? I think it's 500 now. 500 gold apiece.
Straw hats are getting famous, boys.
I look at the poster and just absent-mindedly change my face to Terry,
That
and then I just put it down and change back.
is disturbing every time I see you do it.
You get used to it.
You guys could have gotten a lot of trouble coming here. Perhaps when you leave, you take the back way.
Yeah, and I'll stay. I'll
I
turn
love
back
that.
in.
I'll turn back into like my junior maker version,
No.
and I'm like,
No need. While you're
Oh.
within these walls, you're safe. And when I say the back way, I mean the back way that no one else knows about.
Ah,
So you need
Gotcha.
the Stone of the Kings, then, yes?
yes,
Very much
please.
so.
What can you offer me? I am interested in helping you, but you understand this puts my family at great risk.
You. I'm comfortable. The Gregory aside. 1 sec.
How did you
Absolutely, take your time. He just begins
Sure.
cutting into his fucking food.
I love this guy.
Should we... Look, the only thing I can offer this guy that he does already have is nose. Clearly something's very interested in. And they've said before that they're not interested so much. They're been very interested in finding out what the stone is for. So if we bring them with us...
Back to the... I was thinking the same thing. If we kind of offer them almost like a place back in the city. With like we could say that you'll always have an inn in the rebellion, and when things really go sideways, they're gonna have a place to go, and we could sell it like that, you know, like a timeshare.
And the other thing,
Timeshare.
You come to a 30-minute meeting.
Oh no, dude! You can
come
never
to
leave.
A breakfast meeting, and for 30 minutes, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, I was thinking sewing more along the line of them being able to see in person what the stone does.
I think that too. Yeah, that's a good part of it too. I think if we say like, come with us, see the city, talk to the people, they'll be super excited. Just I think they see that ancient freaking cave. Their eyes are gonna go all dollar signs and gold signs.
Potential. All right, have to turn back to him. How interested are you in finding out exactly what that stone can do?
Oh, very. In
Then
fact,
why don't?
Go ahead.
No, why don't you come with us? If we don't really have a use for the stone outside of what we need it for, afterwards, assuming it doesn't need it, you can take it back.
Right.
If you really want to help,
Deal.
That's our option.
Actually, before he says deal, he looks at his wife. They make eye contact. They have another like silent husband-wife moment. She just smiles knowingly, like the smile on her face kind of like depicts like, you need to do this, don't you? And like there's like an excitement on his face as he's looking like, come on, let me go, let me do it, please, let me do it. And she just smiles. Fine. But if you get into any trouble, I'm not coming to save your ass again.
Now we'll
he's just like, he looks at her, naturally.
Yeah, girl boss.
I take it you'll be, fine handling the household while I'm away. And she just looks at him, as if I didn't already. He just smiles at her again, nods knowingly, like completely acknowledging that fact.
Well, there is one other thing we might, you might have access to that we do not. It is not the only stone we need to open this. Admittedly.
What else do you need?
We need a... I know the size.
Yeah,
roughly.
No, it's literally like it's varying size.
Sapphire, emerald.
Yeah, it just needs to fit.
Ruby, sapphire, and emerald in about this size for each of them.
Easily done.
Wow.
You understand I can't walk you down to our vault for security reasons. Also, not sure you would survive the trip.
Survive the trip?
Come now, you didn't think we were gonna leave?
See it now.
Fine, but just the first room.
Good.
And he stands up from the table and looks his chair. And again, you see his wife like on her face, like, oh great, he's showing off the vault again, kind of deal. And he leads you back to those stairs I mentioned. He pushes on the thing, and the panel goes and slides away, revealing
under
like
his breath. This is making us knew it.
And you're led into this spiral stone staircase that leads you down deep into the sandstone beneath this this oasis here, and you find yourselves
is this one made of sandstone?
As like you enter, it goes down, it's carved into it, and it looks like they did the bricks they had ordered specially, like the gray brick, and at a certain point about halfway down it fades into normal sandstone again. And as you make your way down, you are just faced with this massive vault. Well, actually, you're just faced with this massive chamber, which you can see here ever so briefly. You guys avoided all my puzzles by just talking to people. Isn't it amazing what it can do when we're just politically minded? So he leads you down to this cliffside, and you literally stand on a cliff about 50 feet above a pit of sharp rocks, some bones, and you see 3 crocodiles just swimming around in it. And you just see you see down like further in the pit, like around the middle section, about here, there's just a balcony with a door that leads somewhere you cannot see, and there's a guy just throwing meat to the fucking crocodiles and keeping them fed.
All I want is frickin' sharks with
Freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
frickin' forehead.
This is the
gold.
this is the first room. Like I said, I'm not sure you would survive it. Give me just one moment. And this old man, who, like, to you looks like he was probably in his 60s, 70s, like he's getting up there, just grabs one of these vines and swings across to a platform in the middle of the room, and then grabs another and swings across to the next one, and then one more and makes his way all over to the end. It looked pretty easy. Not gonna lie to you.
As he turns around. Yeah, I see he's gonna turn around with that.
Yeah, he turns and just starts, he like looks at you.
As he does that, I'm just gonna do the thing where I like kind of click my heel on the ground and just kind of float up into the air.
Funny thing, you click your heels, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. He sees you. He sees you click your heels, and then there's a moment of disappointment. He looks at you. When you live in a kingdom full of people who can do all sorts of magic, I find the best way to keep people out is to keep things very, very simple.
Very smart.
I go into my new maroon coat and pull out the bone mask and put that on.
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
You just smack it onto your face, like kind of hard. It almost hurts. You're used to it like absorbing, but it's like thunk. Nothing
I was
happens.
really hoping that was gonna be a ha-ha moment.
It's almost like a DM knew the 2 magic users were coming to the vault.
No, I mean, I couldn't have predicted that. But like, straight up, when you live in a magic kingdom, you're gonna enchant your vault with shit that's gonna stop magic users.
Yeah,
If you don't mind waiting here, I will go retrieve the object for you. It was a ruby, an emerald, and a sapphire, and the Stone of King. Okay. Don't try to swing across after me. Look up at that roof there. And you look up and you see like hundreds of vines hanging from the ceilings. Only one will work. And he just turns and makes his way back around to the other side and just vanishes down a stone door. You hear it close after him. And that's all you see. You wait there for about 10 minutes before the old man once again appears on the other side holding a small bag. And something wrapped in burlap that even through the burlap is glowing. Like you see this blue kind of starlight looking glow coming through it. And he very deftly swings back across to you and he gets to you. I hope you understand. I will be carrying these back with us. Yes?
Right.
Sure, but I will give you the option. Since you're going to be stuck on us like glue, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like open the fanny pack a little bit.
The fanny pack of holding?
The fanny pack of holding.
I've got my
Would
own.
be better hidden there.
I've got my own. And he like reaches under his coat and pulls a fanny pack around to the front and unzips it, stuffs the shit in it, zips it back around, hangs it around the back, but it's like
amazing.
Tucked under the great minds.
Fashion.
You know what they say.
Yeah,
It's just so much more convenient than a bulky backpack when you're swinging through tombs and stuff.
Yeah,
Gregory looks down at the box that he keeps on like a strap that like he's got like a bunch of juts in
Just
the side of
clanks
his
against,
body.
it's like a bruise there forever.
This is Indiana Jones.
It straight up. His wife is Laura Croft. It's what happens if Indiana Jones and Laura Croft had a baby and a family.
We went from
So
D&D
fucking
American
amazing.
Psycho to D&D Indiana Jones.
Yep.
This whole interaction has brought great joy.
He just stuffs it in his fanny pack and slides it back under his coat. So, would you like to head out now, or are we waiting until morning? I am rather excited.
Cover of night. Gotta say.
We could wait till nightfall.
Okay. Until evening we shall wait then. Perhaps I should spend some time with the wife before I go. If there's anything you need, Bilson here will be happy to assist you. And now you look down in the alligator or crocodile pit and realize it was in fact Bilson throwing the meat to the crocodiles. Yeah. He's like, yes, if there's anything you need, feel free to ask. And he just
Bilson is Alfred.
basically disappears into the door and just closes it behind him. You see the crocodiles like viciously tear apart the side of like a fucking like cow's leg and just go about their business. Yep. Ilsar just turns and like just walks away from you with his fanny pack.
Get it before you like fully want to him, like under my birthday, Gregory. We didn't have to go across that.
And you
and then
guys
start following him.
Okay, as you follow him upstairs, you return to the grand estate. He just gestures. Make yourselves at home. Anything you need, any way you want to be comfortable. Just don't break anything. We'll head out in the morning. Your Bilson will show you to your rooms around evening. We do afternoon tea in the garden if you would like to join us, and supper is just before sundown.
Fantastic, and I think we should leave right around sundown. The camp where the rest of our party is currently.
I figured you wouldn't be traveling alone. I was wondering where your friends might have.
I hold up the wanted posters of Mantuka and Stan, and I'm just like, these guys.
Yeah, and you notice like they're written in this kind of arcane, like they're drawn in arcane ink. So like they're not alive and like watching you, but it's like those illusion pictures that and like no matter where you are, the eyes are always staring at you. But the likenesses are almost the likeness are almost uncanny. Like they're perfect down to the detail.
It's cool that I keep these things, right?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Send one to your father as a souvenir. He'll probably have a heart attack.
Please don't.
I'm gonna point to the Stanislav and Mantuka and be like, yeah, that one's a minotaur and that one's a completely golden man. Not exactly,
inside and out.
They're not completely stealthy.
They don't do subtle wealth. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy my home. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll see you at tea time. And he just kind of like wanders off and does his own thing. And as the two of you stand in this massive, sprawling estate, Gregory, it now feeling a lot more friendly than it did when you first arrived here. The realization that this individual does in fact know your father and knows who you are, kind of hits you hard.
Cool.
At that point, we're going to end things for this evening before we make our way off into the desert tomorrow. Thank you for the other half of the party for being patient and sitting while we were doing that. I hope you guys still had fun with your half of the session.
It was kind of fun. I'd never done it like this before. It was cool.
You have no idea how happy I am that went down like it did.
It's so stressful.
When you guys were like sitting there and that tension was there, I was like, reveal yourself, reveal yourself, reveal yourself, reveal yourself.
I know. I was just like, as soon I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put a little nugget. What nugget do I give him? I'm like, Daddy, drop your daddy.
Drop the daddy,
dude. I was 100% gonna like, hey, lunch if I go down. I was like, well, if I can, I'll ask him if he knows what they look like.
So that's gonna be it for tonight. We're gonna raid out on Rusty Renegade, who is currently playing Goat Simulator 3. We try to support the other Rusties in this stream. I've raided out on all the D&D people so many times.
It's Eyes on You Simulator.
It's Eyes on You Simulator. Here we go. I want to thank everyone coming by. Avarian, thank you for swinging by the stream for the first time. Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming by. We love the locals, supporting the locals. If y'all need any cool D&D gear or tabletop game gear, Avarian CA makes all kinds of cool stuff. Go check them out over there. And yeah, place an order if you're looking for a cool dice tray or something like that. We will be back. Actually, we're probably off next week. I could run a game if you guys want to. We don't really need to do the one-on-one cut. So if you guys are good for the last Monday,
I'm down to clown already.
We have a lot of direction and content for the next one. So.
We do. We have so much stuff going on. So much. No worries for the show. I love your work. It looks cool. I might have to pick up a dice tray.
Thickens.
The plot, like my gravy, thickens
so
100%.
Thick.
Yeah, it's so thick. There's definitely two hands level of thick. Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and raid out to Rusty Renegade. Y'all know the drill. If you got the emotes, where's Rusty on my list here? Where are you? There you go. If you got the emotes, feel free to drop them in chat. Those are there. Just copy and paste those. Send them on over. If not, just let them know we say. Say hello for us on over here. I will be back tomorrow playing some Skyrim bright and early in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, as per usual. Hell's Corp, you got anything you want to tell the people about?
Now I'm gonna stream sometime soon.
We can't wait for another Hell's Corp stream. If you haven't already and you want to, swing into the Discord, join up, hang out with the community, be a part of the stuff. We do need D&D one-shots in there sometime. And check out the YouTube if you got the time. Other than that, y'all know the drill. I have been Rusty. These have been my friends, and you all have been awesome. We will see you next week for more D&D. Bye!
Bye!